Hey everybody, just going to take a quick break from the show to get you styled up with Stitch Fix. Shopping's hard. It's hard. With Stitch Fix, you get a stylist, though, who understands your style, your size, your budget, and they do all the shopping for you.
Wow.
This is excellent. Shopping, I'm telling you, shopping and figure out your style, it's overwhelming. Let somebody help you when it comes to getting dressed. We don't know what we're doing, so we let Stitch Fix help us out. A Stitch Fix stylist there. They know what works on us. We get the prices that make us look really good, and it feels good. You get some confidence boost walking around knowing that you're looking decent here.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, we just give the stylist our sizes, style, budget preferences. We order boxes when we want, how we want, no subscription or any of that required. And they send called Just For Me pieces as well. Like, maybe you'd like this, and it's awesome. Outfit recommendations, styling tips. You keep what you love, you send back the rest. It's super easy.
Yep.
You can do it, and we are doing it because it's excellent. Personal styling for everyone. Get started today at stitchfix.com/STM. That's stitchfix.com/STM.
Now back to the show.
Hey everybody, just going to take a quick break from the show to tell you a little bit more about Rocket Money. It's the start of a new year. It's the perfect time to get organized, set your goals, prioritize what matters most. And for me, top priority is getting myself together here. Financial wellness, doing that, which that feels important, you know? Just feels like adult stuff that you have to do. And thanks to Rocket Money, my goals feel achievable now. They show me all my subscriptions in one place, help me easily cancel ones I forgot that I've been paying for, which happened to me. Absolutely happened to me. I had, for years, I was paying for something. I was like, what is going on here? Rocket Money found it and saved me lots of money since then, because it's been a while. So they did a great job here. Rocket Money is a personal finance app that helps find and cancel your unwanted subscriptions, monitors your spending, and helps lower your bills so you can grow your savings. Rocket Money has over 5 million users and has saved a total of $500 million in canceled subscriptions, saving members up to $740 a year when using all the app's premium features. Cancel your unwanted subscriptions and reach your financial goals faster with Rocket Money. Go to rocketmoney.com/smalltownmurder today. That's rocketmoney.com/smalltownmurder. rocketmoney.com/smalltownmurder.
Now back to the show.
Hi, I'm Ashley Flowers, and if you're like me and grew up watching America's Most Wanted and reading Nancy Drew, then hi, you're a crime junkie. And I bet that passion for solving mysteries never went away, which is why we've assembled a team of reporters to dig deep into all the cases we still obsess over. Each Monday, my best friend Britt and I will bring you a case that you won't be able to stop thinking and talking about. So join us by listening to Crime Junkie wherever you listen to podcasts.
This week, in Hazelton, Idaho, an unstable person flies into a murderous rage after hearing what they consider to be bad news and recruits a very unlikely accomplice in an absolutely brutal killing. Welcome to Small Town Murder. Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Small Town Murder.
Yay!
Yay indeed, Jimmy. Yay indeed. My name is James Pietragallo. I'm here with my co-host.
I'm Jimmie Whisman.
Thank you, folks, so much for joining us today on another insane edition of Small Town Murder. And we promise you this is no exception. It is crazy stuff. Before we get started, just want to say we are going to have a Halloween virtual live show again this year. Can't wait. Tickets go on sale September 1st. So you can do September 1. You can get those at shutupandgivememurder.com/virtual live. September 1st, get your tickets for the virtual live show. It'll be Halloween week. You know, it'll be available. It'll be a great time. Yeah. Those are so much fun. Everybody loves them, and we love them too. So we can't wait.
I'll look like an asshole.
Oh, it's going to be good. And your stupid opinions will be coming out publicly everywhere, anywhere that podcasts are available. Our new show, September the 18th. So keep an eye out for that. we cannot wait, and we'll be pumping it and getting more excited as the time comes, but we're very excited for that. Otherwise, do head over to shutupandgivememurder.com, not only to get your tickets to the virtual live show, but also get your tickets to September the 8th in Atlanta, September the 9th in Charlotte, and December the 2nd in Dallas as well.
Let's go.
Because those are the ones that have tickets left. Everything else, I think Philly might have like a couple. I don't even know if they're together. So if you want to go to Philly, do it right this minute. I'm not sure if there's any left there. So check that out. Everything else is sold out. Thank you for doing that.
Oh, boy.
We've been having a great time seeing everybody on the road. Good stuff here. Shutupandgivememurder.com. If you want more show, we can do that for you too. Patreon.com/crime in sports is where you get all of the bonus material. And there's so much. Anybody $5 a month or above. That's a cup of coffee.
Yeah.
1 cup of coffee you can get instead of a cup of coffee, an entire back catalog of a couple hundred bonus episodes to binge. And new ones every other week. 1 crime in sports, 1 small town murder. This week is no different. What we have for you this week for crime in sports, which you, of course, will get. We're going to talk about the history of celebrity boxing.
God.
Celebrity and foxy boxing and all these weird things where people who aren't boxers get in a ring and box.
It's been happening forever.
Oh, it's so much fun. We're going to talk about what idiots decide to punch each other on television and how bad your career has to fall down before you decide to do that. We'll get a ladder going. And then for Small Town Murder, we're going to have a very funny, weird episode. Trust me on this one. We are going to talk about Victorian household dangers. So
dangers.
Late 1800s, mainly bathroom explosions. It was very likely for you to die while exploding in your bathroom in the late 1800s. And we're going to talk all about it. Everything had strychnine in it. It's awesome. We'll talk all about Victorian household dangers. That is patreon.com/crime in sports is where you get all of that. And you get a shout out at the end of the show. Jimmie will mispronounce your name. He wants to get it correct, but it just slips by him. He really wants to, though. That said, I think it's time for the disclaimer here. This is a comedy show.
Yeah.
We are comedians. There will be terrible murder, and there's going to be jokes. Thing is, they don't have to go at the same time. There's nothing funny about, and then the head was removed from the body. Well, that's not funny. What's funny is someone thinking, if I take the head off the body, then I'll get away with this. That's kind of funny. Stupid thoughts like that, or a bumbling police force that lets a murderer go for a decade or something like that. We make fun of all this stuff, but what we don't do, what we go out of our way not to do, is we never make fun of the victims or the victims' families.
Why is that, James?
That's because we're assholes, but we're not scumbags, and that's how that works.
You have it.
If that sounds good to you, we have a lot of wild show for you here, and God, hundreds more for you to catch up on. If not, if you think true crime and comedy should never, ever, ever go together, maybe we're not for you. Maybe this just isn't the kind of show you'll like. But if you do listen, you might like it, and if not, no complaining later because we warned you. There you go. That said, I think it's time, everybody. It's time to sit back. Let's all clear the lungs, everyone, and arms to the sky, and let's all shout, Shut up and give me murder. Let's do this, Jimmie.
Let's go.
Go on a trip. Let's do it. All right. We are going all the way to Idaho.
All right.
This week. Going up to Idaho. Here we go. We're going to Hazelton, Idaho.
Where's that?
Hazelton, southern Idaho, in the Twin Falls region. Yeah, around there. So, yeah, southern. It's 25 minutes outside of Twin Falls.
Okay. I don't know where Twin Falls is.
It's down south.
Idaho Falls, right?
Potato country. Potato country here. I think it's west because it's 2 hours and 4 minutes to Boise. So it'll be over.
Okay,
about 7.5 hours to Moscow, Idaho, which was our last Idaho episode. Insane in the Brain. You got to check that one out. And this is in Jerome County, area code 208. And we'll give you the motto for Twin Falls since it's kind of a part of Twin Falls. And that's, quote, people serving people.
Are they? That sounds
what?
Like blowjobs.
Serving, as I say, blowjobs, legal documents, hamburgers. What are we talking about? What are we getting served with here? I'm worried.
Yeah.
Only one of those three things. A hamburger's good too, I guess. So 2 out of you know what? Bad. Just serve me with whatever. And if it's the 1 out of 3 times I'm getting sued, I'll take it. Whatever, fine. It's worth it for the hamburger and the blowjob, I suppose.
Yeah.
So
that's a solid Sunday right there.
This is not a bad Sunday. Yeah. So history of this town, there was some excavations done at Wilson Butte Cave near Twin Falls in 1959 that revealed evidence of human activity, including arrowheads that rank among the oldest dated artifacts on the entire continent of North America.
Okay, so we found caves, and some Native Americans used to live there. Shocker.
Yes, but it's the oldest artifacts in North America.
Yeah,
I think that's the deal here. The first permanent settlement in the area was a stage stop in 1864 at Rock Creek is where it was, which was near the present-day towns. Rock Creek, everybody. We all know Rock Creek. Big trout the size of a Labrador in there. Huge.
Size of a large rock.
Large rock. In 1890, they had some agricultural operations here in the Snake River Canyon, but they don't have any way of really irrigating or then getting the stuff that they grow out of there because there's no infrastructure. So they kind of...
So it just dies on the vine?
Yeah, they pick it and they go, I don't know where to take it. You could come here and get it, I guess, if you want. They're like, there's no fucking roads. How am I supposed to get there? So that's what happened. Then they built a big irrigation canal system for the area in 1900. So you had to eat it for 10 years, and then here it comes. 1974, Twin Falls became the center of the national eye when Evel Knievel attempted to jump the Snake River Canyon.
That's where it is.
On his motorcycle. It
I
was
had a feeling.
Watched by millions of... This was a huge deal in 1974.
Oh, my God. This is what made him... for everybody.
This was the biggest deal. He had action figures after this. Didn't even do it. They couldn't even make it, but still, they tried. That's what's amazing. I've never seen anyone become a bigger star from failure than Evel Knievel. He never pulls anything off.
Yeah, I don't think I've ever seen that man make it.
No, that's the point. He tried, and he's still alive. That makes him a hero.
I think it was his son that jumped Caesars, and I don't think he made it. I think he crashed
that's
too.
That's the Knievel way. You just jump things and fall, and then everyone loves you.
And then go to the hospital.
Yep. There was high winds. And also, his parachute deployed prematurely, which doesn't help either, which pulled him pretty much off his motorcycle, and then he fell. Yeah. Not great. The Launch Ramps Foundation is still there. It's on private land on the canyon's south rim, less than 2 miles west of Shoshone Falls, and it's still visible. So anybody out there wants to take a shot at it, you still got it. There you go.
At least the foundation.
Give it a look-see. Yeah. Next up, reviews of this town. The first review I'm going to do is for Hazelton. The rest will be for Twin Falls because it's all kind of the same thing. 5 stars for Hazelton. All right. Hazelton is a great little community to live in. Yeah. What else would you do there? Just to hang out in? Drink beer?
Great place to look at.
It is definitely a farming community with many opportunities if you're interested in agriculture. Okay. The schools in Hazelton are very little and offer wonderful one-to-one time with teachers. They also offer a wide variety of sports for children who are interested. That's good. They don't force the children who aren't interested in sport. Play football! I know, I like computers. I said play football. Put this fucking helmet on and run into the back. Run into that fat kid. Go.
It's a tiny school, but you also don't get interaction with the teacher?
You do. It's a very little school, and they offer wonderful one-to-one time with teachers.
Oh, I thought you said very little one-to-one. Okay.
No, it's a very little school. Although job opportunities are limited to agricultural, there are many available. As long as you want to work on a farm.
As long as you're good at farming.
Everything from farms to farms to ranches, everything in there.
Everything from growing to maintaining.
That's it. Here's 5 stars. The people in Twin Falls are so kind and willing to help you around the town. It's a tight community who likes to help one another when things get rough. How rough are things getting all the time where you got to keep helping each other? What do you have, like constant Hurricane Katrinas over there or what? Like, what's going on?
Sometimes it's a bad crop.
I guess so. 4 stars. Twin Falls is a larger town for Idaho that has a pretty landscape and is great for people who love the outdoors. With having a canyon on the edge of town, there are many beautiful hikes to go on. A canyon?
I think they mean canyon.
Probably a canyon, yeah. With there also being a river in the canyon. Wow, they just think it's called canyon. There's two more times they say cannon in this.
They should have spent more one-on-one time with the teacher.
Yeah, I don't think they grew up in these small schools with all this one-on-one time. It gives a beautiful look over the many waterfalls and places to go boating. Having its own bridge over the cannon makes it has its advantages too. With the Perrine Bridge only being only man-made structure in the U.S. that you can base jump off of, it is perfect for thrill seekers. I don't think that's an accurate statistic. You can base jump off anything, can't you?
Yeah, and what other bridge? I guess they're just saying that's the only one that you're allowed to do it, but there's bridges all over the place that are man-made that you could jump off of. Yeah.
There's no fucking nature bridges usually. Not a lot of them.
I guess this one is like they're saying you're allowed to. You're encouraged?
Go ahead. Jump off our bridges. Go ahead. 2 stars. The people in this area are as bleak as the landscape. Here we go.
There we go. That's my guy.
Oh, boy. When you think of Idaho, you think of mountains and crisp, clean air. But southern Idaho is a barren range with only sagebrush as far as the eye can see. The people are undereducated and lack morality. Dumb and mean is what they just said.
Dumb and loose.
Dumb, loose, and mean. Winters are too cold and summers are too hot. There are much nicer places to live. Okay, and finally,
solid, succinct.
Whew, man, they hate that place. 1 star. 1 star. Yeah, they hate the place because of the people, it seems like.
Right, yeah.
They could live with the sagebrush if the people weren't dicks. 1 star. Twin Falls is a terrible place to live. I moved here about 3 years ago. What the fuck? And something is absolutely no help. I don't know what the fuck that means. If you're in an emergency. Oh, the TFP, Twin Falls Police Department, is absolutely no help if you're in an emergency. Yeah. Jobs here pay very low. Neighborhoods are very dirty. Definitely a case with low-class people. Turkeys. All turkeys. Low-class turkeys they all are, everyone. We remember this. Oh, who wrote this? That lady? Yeah. Jesus. People here are very rude, and crime rate is getting terrible. I plan on moving back to my hometown in around 8 months.
Why don't you tell me where their hometown is?
Jesus, but not here, apparently, not Idaho. People in this town, 951 in Hazelton. Small place. Tiny place. Few more females than males. Median age is about normal. More married people than normal. It's 57% married, which is a lot. Race in this town, 37% white. Here, 0.2% Asian, 0.0% black, 1.7% Native American, 53.9% Hispanic, and 7% Hawaiian Pacific Islander.
Is that right?
Which makes I know in Utah there's a lot of Pacific Islanders. There's a big community there, right, but I didn't know rural Idaho had a big.
They bleed over the border a bit.
I guess so, and 54% Hispanic. I guess farming is the key to that. So. But you don't think Southern Idaho, and you go, "Oh yeah, all Mexican." Yeah, right. It's not what you think at all.
6 hours from fucking Canada, and it's all Mexicans.
Crammed between Salt Lake City and Canada, I picture nothing but Mexican people as far as the eye can see.
Over half of the people.
It's a lot. It's weird, too, because they're fighting it out. In a religion in this town, 62.6% religious, very religious. And you'd think Mormons are very high around this area.
It's Catholic.
22.6% Mormon it is, so that's very high. But then Catholics are even higher because it's all Mexican people, so it's 30.6% Catholic.
Yeah.
So they're going to have, this is like, you're going to have like Irish holy wars going on here. They're going to be killing each other in the street. That's too much. Now, the Catholics aren't much for recruiting, though.
No, they just...
Not in this country.
Yeah.
If you already have food, they're not going to try. That's how it works.
You're doing fine.
You're doing fine. 0.0% Jewish, though. It's like, we're going to stay out of this whole thing. In Jerome County, last election, 24.1% voted Democratic, 73.1% Republican, 2.7% Independent. They have a low, actually, unemployment rate here. There are, if you want to work on a farm, there are plenty of jobs.
You can get a job. Yeah, they're always hiring. Hell yeah.
Problem is the median household income here is very low, $31,750 a year. That is.
We'll give you a job, but I didn't say you can feed your family.
Yeah, everyone's gonna. Even the kids are gonna need jobs. That's the problem. That's like $25,000 less than the national average. That's way low. And the cost of living here is also low, but the median home cost, if you make $30,000, doesn't sound very good here. Median home cost $330,800.
What?
Yeah, if you're making $30,000 a year, I don't know how that works exactly.
That math ain't mathin'. That's crazy.
No, and from what I found, though, I think that's because a lot of the properties are large acreage properties
you got some room
that drag the median home price up as far as the home worth is called, because there's a big property that'll be worth $1 million, but the houses that are for sale are not that expensive because they're well, we'll talk about them. Here we go. As a matter of fact, if we've convinced you, damn it, potato country is for you, we have for you the Hazelton, Idaho Real Estate Report. All right, your average two-bedroom rental here, $1,060. So that's well below, a couple hundred below the national average. Here's the first house, and I'm going to show you a picture of it only because it's indescribable. Otherwise, it is a 4,740 square foot studio, quote unquote.
One room?
Meaning there's one room. I don't even know what the fuck to call it. Well, I'll just show it to you because that's the only way to do it. Check this out, Jimmie.
Oh my God!
It's a big falling down.
It's the house that Jenny was molested in.
It's the house that Jenny was molested in, and then the house that the Texas Chainsaw Massacre family took her to afterwards. That's who lives here.
There's even been rocks through the windows.
All the windows are broken. It hasn't been painted since, 1920? Since the Kaiser went down in the First World War was the last time this fucking thing was painted, I think. It's insane. There's like a tub thing outside with a faucet. This house looks like Want to live in 1868? Come on over. It's crazy, this house. So
it looks like it belongs in a museum.
It does. Like, can you believe it's still standing? It looks like a strong wind will take this thing to the ground.
Ripley's Believe It or Not.
$140,000 for that.
How much land?
I think it's like 3 acres.
It's got to be.
I think that's what it is, like 3.3, if I remember correctly.
That's not so bad. Obviously, you light that on fire.
You got to knock that you don't even have to knock it to the ground. Just go, kids, go kick the house down, would you? And just
go
boom,
blow on it.
Boom. Yeah, just let the kids kick it down. They'll have fun. Make it like a piñata. Put candy in it. Whoever knocks down a wall first gets some mini Snickers. Okay. 2-bedroom, 1-bath, 984 square feet. It's a small little house.
Yeah.
It has been completely HGTV'd.
Oh, okay.
As far as it's
nice.
Grays and whites and untreated wood around everything. It's decorative trim and all that kind of thing. It's it's that sort of house, but not on a
900 square feet. That's an afternoon. You can do that one easy.
That's what I mean. Tiny place, and it's not even on an acre. It's a small plot of land. $254,000 for that.
You're out of your fucking mind.
A little pricey.
To live in what?
To live in just a tiny house. That's it. Next up, 3-bedroom, 2-bath, 1,389 square feet. So, kind of intro family house here. Okay. It's just your basic kind of raised ranch sitting in the middle of something. Nothing special about it whatsoever. Nothing exciting about it. $280,000 for it, though. Not a big lot of land. It's expensive up there, man. I don't understand how. I mean, a shack that's going to fall down if the kid kicks it is $140,000. So I don't know what's going on up there. That's wild. Things to do here in this town.
Tell me.
What do we do once we're here? We go to the Twin Falls County Fair.
Okay, yeah.
Which is strange because Twin Falls isn't the county. It's Jerome County.
Right.
So it makes very little sense why it would be called the Twin Falls County Fair when it should be
What's going on?
I don't know. I'm a little confused, but that's okay. Let's go through some stuff on the schedule here. First of all, got to sign up early, 8 a.m. on the first day for the mutton busting. Got to sign up early.
I was going to guess mutton busting. God damn it.
You got to have mutton busting there, obviously.
Right away.
Also, the junior rodeo entries open up at that time, too. So you got to sign up early or you're going to get a bad slot. That's not good. Then they have what they call Cowboys and Angels, which I believe are...
Guys and gals.
I don't know why they're...
dance? What is this?
No, this is riding horses.
Oh.
So I guess the ladies who ride horses are angels, not cowboys.
What if I want to be an angel? Do I have to cut this thing off?
Sorry. You do. I'm sorry. Otherwise, no angel for you. We could get you some wings, though. You look very pretty. Also, the Lucky Charms. I don't know what that is. Some sort of riding group, I believe.
Okay.
Next up, they got the Foothill Lads and Lasses. Children
Are they
doing
dancing?
what? I don't think so. This is all horse stuff, by the way. It's a lot of horse stuff.
Yeah.
Then there's the Freckle Farms Petting Zoo, which sounds gross. I don't know why. Freckle Farm sounds weird.
There's a lot of gingers that you rub.
Come on, pet the gingers. Everybody come up. Look at them. Look at them there.
The freckly one.
Look at him. No, can't have them in the sun too long now, so you better get your pets in. We got to put them away quick. Now, while you're doing all this, by the way, you'll be treated to Jeff Martin and his strolling magic.
Oh, Jesus.
Yeah.
The guy doing up-close walking magic?
There's nothing that is worse than having a stranger walk up to you unexpected and start doing magic at you. At you is what they're doing, and not for you. You is something you want. That's for you. I did this for you. At me is I didn't ask for this, and you still won't stop. And that's every fucking walking magic show.
And now you put my watch inside that locked box, and where's the key? What's happening?
Why do
Can
people...
I have my watch back?
Please? Can I? My wife gave it to me, and then she died of cancer, so I'd like to really have it back, please.
I love when David Blaine does
Belonged
that.
to my grandfather.
And puts your watch inside a locked jewelry store. It's like, It's not even open. I can't go get that, you son of a bitch.
Jesus Christ. Whoever plans events, stop booking strolling magic people. No one's amused by that. Everyone spends the whole time trying to avoid that guy. There he is with a deck of cards in his hand. Leave me alone.
Every time I'm an asshole. Thanks a lot.
Thanks a lot. Then Jeff Martin's going to do his first magic show after he's done strolling. Then after he's done, he's going to do a 45-minute set, by the way.
Oh, boy.
Tight 45. Then Danger Magic comes on.
Oh?
Danger Magic with a K.
Magic.
You know it's dangerous because it's with a K. Danger Magic.
Is that going to be like the Amazing Jonathan where he runs a fucking kitchen knife through his arm?
Let's hope so.
Sprays blood all over the place.
And let's hope he's not very good at it. Let's just say that.
Let's hope he put the wrong arm in.
Whoops. Then Kale Moon will play a show.
Oh, there's your country boy.
Oh, yeah. Kale. With a C, not the lettuce.
God,
Kale
Jesus.
with a C. Kale Moon over here. Then the Commissioner's Pie Contest.
Oh.
We're all going to judge pies after that.
We're not eating? Okay.
No, we're going to have Kale Moon, then we're going to have pie, and then Jeff Martin's going to come on and do more magic.
Oh,
He's got a
God,
second.
what a day.
He's got a second show lined up here, so it's a busy day for him.
It's all entertainment today.
Then he's going to go fucking peruse for some snatch afterwards. That's what he does. He goes, oh, all the ladies love my magic show. And he goes through the crowd, and then nobody likes him.
Make my penis disappear.
Come
Watch
on.
this.
What do you think, sweetheart? 11 o'clock is the antique tractor pull at 11 a.m.
Antique one.
Be careful. Don't put too much weight on it. Shit, it broke again. Fuck. That's just a bunch of people fixing tractors all day.
It's only rated for 5,000. Be careful.
Be careful. The chocolate extravaganza contest is after that.
Okay.
I don't know if that's chocolate making or chocolate eating. I'm not sure. But
bring chocolate.
Bring your own chocolate. Then the Monster Truck Insanity Tour will be here.
Oh, God, it's insane.
It's insane. Monster Truck Insanity Tour, followed by the ABGA Registered Goat Show.
All
you can't beat. This is just... Bring a tent, stay here all weekend is all I'm going to say, man.
Do you want to enter some fudge next year that we use THC butter in?
Yes, I'd like to get half of Idaho stoned. Yes, because it's not legal at all there. That'll be perfect.
It would be hilarious.
That'll be a lot of fun. There's a commercial boar goat show. Boar goat. I don't know what that is.
Oh, that's a crossbreed, James. It
sounds dangerous.
That's something you want to watch.
I don't want milk from that thing. A model railroad display. Next event, the Chicks and Chaps event. Chicks and Chaps. So I don't know if that's chickens and something or if that is like women wearing leather pants. Yeah. I'm not sure. I'm hoping it's women with assless pants on. That sounds much better.
That sounds wonderful. I don't want to see a rooster's ass.
Yeah. Then finally, closing it all out, Michael Mesmer. You know what he does, Jimmy?
He's a country artist.
No, he is not. Michael Mesmer is America's award-winning comedic hypnotist. I would rather smash my balls in a car door repeatedly than watch a fucking comedic hypnotist.
Yeah.
I worked with one of those guys one time, and he was terrible, and everyone was making fun of him, including me, and it was the greatest fuck because he sucked. He didn't do anything. Garbage. So also the Lost in Lava Cowboy Gathering is a separate event.
Lost in Lava.
Lost in, not just N, Lost in Lava Cowboy Gathering.
Okay.
An annual celebration of the ranching and rural West. Through poetry, music, and stories, ranch people express the beauty and challenges of a life deeply connected to the earth and its bounty. You know, most ranchers I know are big into poetry.
Telling you, cowboy poetry is so popular.
I know. I'm seeing this. Also performing there, Dave Stamey, Cowboys and Indians magazine, which is a thing that exists. Cowboys and Indians magazine called him the Charlie Russell of Western music.
What?
I don't know. And Western Horseman magazine declared his Vaqueros song to be one of the greatest Westerns of all time.
Wow, Western Horseman, huh?
He's been a cowboy, a mule packer, a dude wrangler, which sounds like a guy who gets chicks for ladies of the night.
Chicks,
yeah, it sounds like a pimp, and is now one of the most popular Western entertainers today. There he is. Now, crime rate, what we're interested in here, is pretty low, actually. Property crime is about one quarter under the national average.
Really?
Low. And then violent crime, murder, rape, robbery, and, of course, assault, the Mount Rushmore of crime, is about 1/3 less under the national average. So it's safe in this town, let's say. But it wasn't safe for everybody.
No.
As we'll find out here. I really want to see some of these terrible acts for some reason. I want to see I want to heckle the comedic hypnotist so bad.
I love that a guy is touting his write-up in Western Horseman.
Western and Cowboys and Indians magazine.
My grandfather was written up in Western Horseman, for Christ's sake.
That's fucking awesome. Well, he's been voted 6-time Entertainer of the Year, 6-time Male Performer of the Year, and 5-time Songwriter of the Year by the Western Music Association.
Oh, I wanted to be Western Horseman.
I don't know what that's what I was looking for. Hey everybody, just going to take a quick break from the show to tell you about the safest sponsor ever, Simply Safe. Absolutely, these people will keep you safe. It's amazing. You know that every 26 seconds a burglary takes place in the United States, according to the FBI. That means that by the time this podcast is over, dozens and dozens of homes will have been targeted, ransacked. God knows what happens here. So protect your home before it's too late with Simply Safe proactive security system. Simply Safe helps stop threats before they even have a chance to break in. Named Best Home Security System by U.S. News and World Report 5 years in a row. And by us for about the last 8 years as well. If you trust us, believe me, you want Simply Safe. So visit simplysafe.com/small to claim 50% off a new system with professional monitoring plan and your first month free. That's simplysafe.com/small. There's no safe like Simply Safe.
Now back to the show.
Hey everybody, just going to take a quick break from the show to tell you a little bit about Sono Bello. You know, the most known secret with celebrities and influencers and all these famous people is so many of them have had lipo. They've had lipo, whether it's a little touch-up here or a total makeover.
Yeah.
Nobody has a perfect body. That's the thing.
No.
They may look like it on TV, but there's things that help that. Absolutely. Lipo now has changed, and Sono Bello's been at the forefront with using LAL technology and getting those beautiful and natural outcomes for each person. Looking real natural. Our friends at Sono Bello are offering their best deal. You're now included in their winter savings event, but appointments are limited, so please get on this. Sono Bello doctors are masters in micro laser fat removal, a brilliant technique that removes stubborn fat permanently wherever your problem areas are. Tummy, love handles, thighs, arms, it's gone in one comfortable visit. Eating healthy and workouts are great. Keep doing that, but if you want to lose that stubborn fat in one visit, check out Sono Bello. Save big during their winter savings event. Schedule your free consultation now at sonobello.com/smalltownmurder. That's sonobello.com/smalltownmurder.
Now back to the show.
He said that he finds that he prefers performing to, quote, being stomped by angry horses.
What the fuck are you talking about?
Because otherwise, that's my only choice in the world. I'm a cowboy, see?
I either perform or I let these horses stomp on me.
It's either I'll sing you a song from the bottom of this here cracked heart. Either that or I let a bunch of horses stomp my face to death. Those are my only options. I'm picking a song for you. That said, let's talk about some murder. What do you say, Jimmy?
Let's do it.
Let's get on with that murder time. All right, let's do it. Western Horseman magazine. It's my goal to be written up. I want this show to be talked about in Cowboys and Indians Monthly. That's all I want. That's my only goal from now on. I don't care about anything else, any other accolades we could get at live shows, selling out, all this stuff. That's all great. What's up with Cowboys and Indians Monthly? That's where I want to be.
And Western Horseman, if you want to write it up, we would be legacy write-ups because my relative was written up there.
I assure you none of my relatives have been in Western Horseman. If there was like Eastern Barbershop, then yes, that's what Eastern Pizza Place. It's a different magazine. But not Western Horseman. Now, Let's do this. Let's talk about a murder. Let's talk about a guy, first of all, here. Let's start out with a man. His name is Milo Ross. Milo, like Milo, Ross, regular spelling. So
8 letters gets his name done.
Done and done. Wow, that's amazing. That's 3 less than my last name. You asshole. Lucky son of a bitch.
Yeah.
He's a Mormon, Milo.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Everybody calls him I've heard this from several people, said, quote, he's just a big, tall, good-looking dude.
Oh.
Everybody call him. It's a big, tall, strapping cat. And he is. He's a big, tall, handsome guy.
Yeah. Well, good for you, Milo. You
Western-y looking, you know.
Yeah.
Looks like got like a big head, big, strong-looking head.
All right.
It's like a young Powers Booth is what he looks like.
Okay.
The guy from fucking Deadwood there.
Yeah.
Who runs the Bella Union. Yeah, that's what he's doing. So he's a big, tall, good-looking dude. In 1961, he's about 20 years old, and he gets married.
Okay.
So he gets married to a woman named Vicky, and they're together for 19 years here, it looks like. I don't know that they had any children, though, in this 19 years. And by 1980, they get divorced.
Okay.
They're all wrapped up by 1980. So, yeah, they were married for a while. Vicky ends up going on to get married to another man and I believe have children as well. So
good for you.
There's Vicky ends up with another life, and so does he. Right away, he meets people. One thing about Milo, when something's over, something else, he'll start it right up.
Listen, one door closes, James.
He is jumping out a window. Put it that way. Door closed, right through the glass, through the plate glass. So. He's always meeting someone right away, and no difference here. He meets a woman pretty much right away after they get divorced. Some of the relationships might overlap a little bit here. He's introduced to a woman named Sandra Jonas.
Okay.
Jonas, Jonas, like the brothers.
The brothers. Yep.
So they're introduced by. He works for a construction and trucking company.
Yeah.
Called, I believe, Circle A is the name of it, and. He ends up, this woman that works as a dispatcher is leaving. So this woman who is his dispatcher says, I know a lady who'd be good for this job. Will you give her the job? And Milo said, sure, looking for somebody else. So they bring in Sandra. Sandra comes in and, she takes the job as a dispatcher, and then they get together. Milo's her boss, and they start hooking up a little bit here. So in 1980, that was considered the way you meet your spouse. Whereas now it's considered a crime.
You'll meet him at work.
Yeah, now it's considered a crime. Back then it was like whoever's around you, because
if it's not a crime, it's certainly an HR fucking nightmare.
Yeah. Well, I mean, now you have other options. That's why.
Yeah,
but back then you didn't know anybody else. There's no fucking internet.
Yeah, and
whoever's around you is who you meet.
You're literally spending 40 hours a week minimum here.
Yeah.
You don't have time to meet anybody else.
Totally.
And if you do, you're going to have one-night stands in fucking bars where
that's garbage.
The chances of having something awful happen are way too high.
At least you might have something in common with someone you work with here. Yeah. Obviously,
one thing right out of the gate. We both work here.
Now you spend 40 hours a week at work and 27 of those hours on your phone, so you couldn't even meet anybody at work anyway. So it's a moot point now. But back then, that's how people met people, and they start getting along right away. Sandra is a little bit younger than him. She's born in 1954. So he was already married when she was 7.
Yeah.
So there was that. But now Milo is Mormon, grew up Mormon, and as he's an adult, he kind of goes in and out of Mormonism. You know what I mean?
As they do.
He likes to drink and hang out, too. That's the thing.
Yeah.
So that kind of doesn't really go with that. So
they tend to frown on it, yeah.
He tends to do one or the other. Either he's in a Mormon phase or he's in a party and drinking phase. One of those.
You Mormon right now? Well, right now I like fishing.
You Mormon right now? Let me get a double scotch and soda. Does that answer your question? Exactly.
Maybe tomorrow.
You never know. It is Sunday. So now Sandra, though, left the church. She was also a Mormon, but left the church when she became an adult. Didn't want anything else to do with it. She was in the Army for a few years.
Okay.
Actually, and this is when she gets out of the Army, moves up here, and that's when they meet and, are introduced, and she works for him.
Light that fire.
So this is like late 1980 that she gets the job there as the dispatcher, and they start hanging out. May 1st, 1981, they get married.
What?
It is fast. Milo moves fast with this marriage shit. He from what I understand and what comes out later, when he's in Mormon phases, he doesn't believe in premarital sex.
Yeah.
So what he does is meets a woman and then immediately proposes to them so they can have sex in the next couple of months rather than, wait a while, which is,
Wait till we get to the courthouse as soon as possible because I have been rock hard for months.
But 6 months they've known each other. We have to get married because otherwise I'm going to explode. My balls are going to burst.
Lord have mercy, I'm about to bust.
That's right. So they get married in Elko, Nevada, where everybody's dream wedding is. Doesn't everybody picture that? Right? Everybody out there picturing your dream wedding? Don't you picture it in Elko, Nevada?
I mean, if they are coming from Idaho, if they're getting married in Elko, just go to Vegas. It's right there.
Jesus Christ.
You could not wait.
You pull up the 74 Vega with a dirt cloud behind you and you go, beautiful Elko. We're finally here. Yes.
He really was about to bust. He could not wait to
horny.
Vegas. He's like, it is.
We'll just stop in Elko, man. It's cool. So they get married, and once they do, they have 2 kids.
Yeah.
We'll talk about. And Sandra is in charge of the house.
Yeah.
Period. She works too and stuff, but the law. She is the law at the house.
Sure.
And part of her law in the house is she now isn't just not Mormon anymore. She now hates religion.
Oh.
Hates it.
Wow.
Like talks mad shit about it, and whenever it comes up, it'll be a 20-minute tirade about religion. So they know, don't even bring it up around the house because mom's going to flip her shit and go nuts on it. It's one of those.
I like that.
Yeah, she's just got to. I like anyone who freaks out about anything, so it's pretty fun. So she hates this. She hates Mormonism because that's the only religion she is talking about.
That's what she's been part of, yeah.
The only one she knows about. So she's saying she hates the Mormon church and hates them and hates them and hates them. So they have 2 kids, Paul and Andra. Andra, Andra. I've heard it pronounced Andra and Andre, and I don't know, but literally by 2 different people, and it's in a conversation with each other, have pronounced it differently. So, and no one corrected the other one, so I don't think they know either.
Interesting.
It's weird. So Paul is the older one, and Andra is a couple years younger.
Yeah,
2 years apart, I think they are. So now around 8 or 9, Paul became interested in Mormonism because he knew that his family was, culturally Mormon. At that time they were as Mormon as I am Catholic, whereas, our family once went to church 40 years ago.
Yeah.
So I guess I'm Catholic, like one of those. I think that's how they did it with Mormonism here.
Sure.
And the mother freaked out. I guess he was going to friends' houses and they were Mormon too, and so he went to church with a friend, and then he was like, I like that. That was fun, and they had kids shit for him to do, and he thought that was cool.
That's the thing about churches. They aim at the children to make them have a great time, and if they're having a good time.
Well, it's just the same thing as tobacco companies back in the day. It's you got to get them young. You hook them young. Because once they're an adult, smoking or religion start to sound like less good ideas the older you get.
Yeah.
If you didn't know anything about them.
Yeah.
If you're 48 and someone hands you a cigarette, you go, fuck, what? That's weird. Yeah. If you're 48 and someone goes, let me tell you a story. Okay, now check it out. See what you see before you? None of it's what it really appears to be. Actually, they'd go, if they'd never heard anything about it before. But I mean, if you grow up in it, then you can, whatever. So his mother didn't like it. Paul said of his mother about religion, quote, it was all witchery to her.
Oh.
Even Mormonism was witchery. Anything was
witchery.
Yeah, so she believed in God and that sort of thing, but didn't like the religions themselves because she thought they were all witchery. She said, quote, he said, it was made up to try to make people feel good about the terribleness and the awkwardness of life, is what Paul said. That's what she said.
That's what Mom said.
So that's her opinion on it, and she tells him that. And as a kid who's into religion, he's like, oh, well, I kind of thought it was cool, but okay, I guess not.
I liked coloring.
Yeah. So Milo, though, he supports his son in doing this if he wants to be religious. But Mom freaked out, and Milo stopped going to church when he was 8 or 9. But then once he's 12 or 13, he gets back into it again.
Yeah.
And now he's got, 13, you start to get a brain of your own a little bit, and he wants to go. And Milo supported him, so Milo and Paul would sneak off to church together. They had to sneak church. They'd hide it.
That's
creep
fun.
off. Isn't that wild? Who's ever heard of that before?
That's
Sneaking
hysterical.
church?
We're gonna sneak salvation.
Don't tell mom. It's fucking hilarious. So they're sneaking off to churches, and that caused huge fights because obviously Sandra's going to find out. Yeah, no, we're just going to go to McDonald's dressed in our best clothes. That's all. Yep, we're just going down fishing.
That is the thing about parenting too, is that if you fundamentally have different opinions about anything, it's very difficult to find common ground for the child.
If one person's very passionate, the other person has to either agree or not give a shit at all. Those are the two things.
Yeah.
And Milo actually disagrees, so it's not working.
Or you find a way to get yourself a pass on something in the future.
Yeah, that's another option. So this was one of the first big blow-ups that Milo and Sandra are going to have as a couple, and hiding church. Now, 1990 comes around, by the way, during all this. Milo's first wife, Vicky, who, they got divorced 10 years ago, has a catastrophic house fire, is what the quote-unquote, what the firemen called it. Meaning completely gone.
Everything's gone. Yeah,
just a pile of ashes. People died in the house.
Oh, she lost people.
Vicky was the only survivor of the fire.
What?
Which was horrible. She crawled out of a ash heap and fucking, burnt up and shit. So tragic, okay? Just keep that in the back of your head. So 1993 comes around, and Milo decides that he's going to file for divorce from Sandra.
He's had enough, yeah.
He's had about enough of this shit, and they're fighting a lot. And
We're just too different, yeah.
Well, it's not just that. There's other stuff here, because what happens is they used to like to drink together a lot. But then when Milo gets back into the church, he stops drinking, but she doesn't. So when two people drink like a lot together, they tend to get along, or they might fight when they're drunk, but they tend to get along better. When one stops drinking, then the relationship is at an impasse now. You can't have that.
It is so fascinating how fast your significant other becomes annoying when they're drunk and you're sober. And if you're both drunk together, you're like, it doesn't seem annoying to me.
You're having fun. Yeah.
But then when you're sober and you see it, you're like, oh my God, now I see what everybody's talking about.
Yeah. And especially if you're like all into going to church and all that, and you're like anti-alcohol.
Right.
You're not just like, I'm going to stop at 3. You're not having any. Right. And she's having a bottle. So it's
having all of them.
It's a lot. Yeah. She said that, or I'm sorry, Milo said that in November of 1993, Sandra came home shit-faced drunk, threatened the children.
Oh, Sandra.
Like physically, and then beat him on the chest too. Like just fucking lost it. Came in the house and lost it on everybody.
She's
and that's
being a dick.
That's when he files for divorce. Yeah. So that's what it is. He's not drinking and he's going back to church, and she starts drinking more because now she's upset because now they're having marital problems too. So I'm drinking for 2. Yeah, is what I'm doing. Are you with child? No. My husband stopped drinking, so picking up the slack.
Like one, honey? No, I'll drink his.
Well, I already poured it. See, it's a habit. Once you got 2, you got to drink it.
You can't put it back.
A psychiatrist later will say that Jonas struggles with, this is Sandra, interpersonal relationships, drinks excessively, does not trust law enforcement or others easily, has an unhealthy inability to let go of her father's death, often carries a weapon, has been known to shoot neighbors' animals, and has made threats to people of physical bodily harm.
She scares the shit out of me.
She's terrifying, and she's been in the army. She knows how to use this gun. She's scary. She's a scary woman.
She has daddy issues, and she's capable. That's
and
so
drunk.
Scary. Yeah.
And drunk and armed. She kills neighborhood pets all the time, apparently. Yeah. This is like a normal thing for her. Not
daddy
that come in her yard.
And capable. Oh, boy.
She goes out looking for pets, apparently, when she's mad. Right. Literally, like that's what happens. So she has a history of threatening to kill people close to her, Sandra, including her mother.
Okay.
Obviously, we all threaten to kill our moms, don't we? Her son, which is very normal. Her ex-husband as well. Oh. I mean, think about that.
We still think about him? We've got kids.
And his ex-husband's former wife as well.
So the wife before her.
Before her. Husband got married, got divorced, married her. They got divorced. She still hates his wife before that. Wow. Which it's like twice removed, by that point.
Anything less to do with her life at the moment.
There are 2 divorces between her and that woman, like his and
two
theirs.
pregnancies,
both.
for Christ's
Yeah,
sake.
it's all sorts of and 2 divorces and several marriages in between her and that woman. Still threatens to kill her.
Wow.
Not just is mad at her, wants her dead. That she's very angry. And she lets things fester a lot. She'll sit and with something, if something happens and she's mad about it, she'll sit there and fester about it for a while, and then it will just be like, well, got to do something about that. I have to kill everybody.
What
And she'll
the hell
rage
is
and scream.
that?
I don't know what's up with her. I think alcohol's a lot of the problem. She's definitely...
I mean, it's exacerbating the issue,
Yes.
but she's leaning on it to make herself feel better, meanwhile making the issues worse.
But
what the fuck is the root, though?
at this point, it doesn't matter, because when you're drinking that much, the root's really irrelevant, because you're...
It's too deep now.
It's too deep. That's what I
It's
mean.
a
The root's
taproot is
irrelevant.
what that is.
It's just covered. It's all covered up. It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
We got to take layers off before you can even get to the root.
It's also broken the clay sewer pipe, and it's chasing the pipe, too, so now
It's
you're
a
never going
mess.
to catch it.
It is a fucking mess. So other people who knew her describe her as being a, quote, very mean individual. She's known as ornery,
Yeah.
which is how you describe like a bull.
Yeah, a mean individual sums up all of this.
She's a very mean individual. Her ex-husband also describes her as a very violent person.
Okay.
Her ex-husband said that Sandra threatened his life on more than one occasion, often killed their pets when she got mad, and would wander onto properties, kill other pets, and then bury them in her pet cemetery across the street. She made a pet cemetery where she kills her own pets and other people's pets that she finds and then buries them in the cemetery. This is something she does for control. This is a weird control thing.
This is if she's a man, though, is like
this is terrifying.
Oh boy.
If she's a man, there'd be 12 bodies in her wake already. This is this is disturbing shit. I mean, this is like
She'd be
Gacy type
a
shit.
long haul trucker, and there'd be bodies across this country.
Wow. So, man, burying them in a pet cemetery. What kind of control thing is that, though? She gets mad, wants to kill somebody, and instead goes out, kills an animal, buries it in her pet cemetery, and then she controls it because it's in her cemetery.
And then
Weird.
what? Like every time you see that person, you just point out in your yard like that angry monkey from
Family Guy.
Family Guy.
And he comes out of the closet. I don't know. No, this isn't when she's mad. She doesn't kill that person's pet.
Oh,
She gets mad and just kills an animal because she's mad.
any animal.
Yeah, her animals, other people's animals, and then buries them because she could
Has
just kill
nothing
them
to do with
and leave them there, but then she buries them, which is like a control thing too.
Right.
Now you're mine. Okay,
Yeah.
I've killed you. Now that I can look out there and see,
yeah.
you
So
know,
she could
my
be
anger.
mad at the person on the left of her house and go over to the person on the right, kill their animal,
Yeah.
put it in the pet cemetery, and be like, there, and then point at the guy on the other side again.
Just in her own mind. Then she's like, okay, did that.
What
now?
the fuck?
Now that'll show you. I mean, I don't know. That's her way of not killing people.
James,
I suppose
she is so dangerous.
That's a dangerous person. Someone
Yeah.
who, especially someone who kills animals like that, but then also made a fucking cemetery for them. On top of that, makes it even more dangerous. Like, I'm going to do this all the time. I really gotta.
Right.
I gotta flatten some land out and make sure the grass is mowed over here. Yeah, I gotta grade it up nice. This is wild.
Yeah, then you need a spreadsheet so that you don't break ground on a fucking dog's carcass.
Yeah, who knows what's out there?
Oh my
Jesus.
God.
She also has a prior criminal record, Sandra, as well.
Of course she does.
Yeah, because you can't do all that and not run afoul of the cops at some point. She has convictions, not just arrests, convictions for misdemeanor injury to a child. That's not good. No. Driving under the influence with a firearm in the vehicle. Can't do that.
Right.
Can't do either of those things together. That's not great. And then interfering with an arrest as well, because she got mad at some cop for doing something
Let
else.
him go.
That's what happened. So it's a lot. She also, the interfering with the arrest was she admitted that she ends up being charged with damaging a police officer's patrol car after she kicked the radio.
Yeah.
She tried to kick the radio out of the patrol car because she didn't want to hear it. So don't talk about my warrants. Kick. She is a party right now.
Oh, boy.
Wow. Holy crap. This is
20
not the type...
years ago, I would be begging for her phone number.
Oh, yeah. No, she sounds like a... Yeah, and then you'd be in therapy still talking about her.
Yeah.
And how she killed your dog.
This is the kind of chick I chased. This woman is a problem.
Yeah, sanity is very fucking sexy to me. It really is. It always has been.
To me at one point.
I've always,
boy, do I love it now.
My family's all fucking crazy women, and I said, no, going the opposite way.
Like to have a conversation one day.
I need a very calm, non-ethnic woman, thank you. No Italian women. I've never even gone out with an Italian woman for that very reason. Just, nope, I've been there before. No offense, Italian women. Love you all like sisters, and that's how I'd like to keep you, as sisters and aunts. Because we'll kill each other. That's the problem. You can't have it.
I don't want to scream my order at you.
We're all screaming, and it's too much screaming. It gets too loud, so it doesn't work.
Yeah.
I know these things. So. But yeah, this is the type of woman who... a lot of young men would be attracted to her. And I'm saying that half tongue in cheek because if someone's like exciting, I would have been into him too as a young person.
Yeah,
It's the excitement of, whoa, they're nuts, cool.
Right.
And they fuck like a wild person.
Right. That's the old trope, the old joke, but it's true. The lifestyle is exciting from wake up to go to bed, no matter what it is. It's when I say exciting, that's not always positive.
Doesn't mean good. Yeah, it doesn't always mean good. It really doesn't. Evil Knievel's jump was probably exciting. You know what I mean?
Every time he jumped, super exciting.
Super exciting, but terrible for his body. You know, he's broken in every way possible, man.
Yeah.
So it's a lot. She's got a lot going on here. In court documents filed by an attorney representing her, she said she wanted a divorce on the grounds that Milo had been physically and mentally abusive during the marriage. So that's what she says. Yeah, she says it's him. The kids say it's her, but she says it's him. But she's also threatened to kill the kids, so
right.
It's kind of tough to maybe the kids might be on Dad's side, even if it's not correct. Dad might have knocked her around. We don't know.
She's drunk with a pistolero. Let's not.
Yeah, in her car, for Christ's sake. What's that, officer? I got 2 guns, one for each of you.
Don't drop kick your radio.
Fuck me. So May of 1994, the divorce case is dismissed.
Oh.
This is a marriage that can be saved, obviously, Jimmy. If anything could be saved. It's dismissed because of lack of timely action from the involved party. So they filed, but then they didn't follow up. Mm-hmm. So the couple told their attorneys, because basically they got a notice that if they don't do anything, that it's going to expire. Right. And they told their attorneys to allow the divorce to be dismissed as they plan to attempt to stay together.
Wow.
They're going to try to stay together. They're going to make this work, Jimmy. They're going to make it work, everyone. It's happening. Do you want to make it work with the chick who threatens to kill your children and has a pet cemetery across the street? I'm not making it work with that woman.
James, the alternative is being hated for the rest of your life and worrying.
Is fighting with her either way, you're fighting with her for the rest of your life.
Yeah, because you have kids together. You're going to see this woman all the time.
The second the sperm penetrated that egg, you were in for a lifetime of trouble.
Yeah.
You were in a lot of trouble with this lady.
Sounds like the first guy sidestepped all that and doesn't have to deal with it.
Although, I don't know, because she threatened to kill him. She threatened to kill his ex-wife.
Right.
So I think if you're ever in her orbit, you better watch out. It's rough. So, but maybe, I don't know, maybe that's just threats once they're not together. Because she didn't do anything.
Over. Yeah.
So Andra Ross here, the daughter, we'll talk about her.
Yeah.
She's 17 years old at this point here in the late 90s. And her mother is always, one friend said she called the mother the dark specter hanging over Andra's life all the time.
Whoa.
That's what a bunch of her friends said. She's like a dark cloud hanging over. Yeah, she's like something hanging off her neck, an albatross, a specter, like all these terrible words that you definitely, if you're a mother, you don't want to be called.
Yeah. To
your children. They said Sandra always wore mirrored sunglasses, like cop sunglasses, exaggerated highway patrol sunglasses, and would do all of that. They said that her father was a good father who did his best for the kids, but the friends said you had to do it like around Sandra because Sandra was an opposing force to everything he did. If anything nice, he could say, "I'm taking the kids for ice cream," and she would have some shit fit to throw about it and get angry. So the friends were a little bit leery. They said that Sandra tried to, quote, this is funny, they said that they tried to be both a mother and a daughter, is what Andra was trying to be. Because she kind of had to mother her mother because her mother was a mess.
Yeah.
And be the daughter at the same time. And they said Sandra tried to be a mother and a daughter at the same time, too. She tried to be in charge of everything, but then she kind of had a weird father figure thing with Milo as well.
Yeah, because there's something happened with her dad.
Yeah.
Something happened.
Well, her dad died when she was younger, and now she likes an older guy she treats like a father. So it's a father who she's very angry at, I assume, for dying.
And can yell at him to his face.
Yeah,
so.
not that neither of us are psychiatrists, but I mean, I think that's pretty simple.
Not that either of us have the most fucking Brady Bunch Leave It to Beaver relationship with our dad.
That's the other thing. So, but this is kind of a, put a quarter in the machine, turn it, and a bubble gum comes out with this fucking on it. It's pretty simple to put together.
Right.
It's 1 + 1 here on this one. So they all said that, though, that Milo did what was best for Andra and Paul all the time. All the friends said that. That's what he seemed like. Like friends said, I was jealous of her dad. What a great dad he was. So they said that Milo tried to avoid, Andra would try to avoid what she saw as Sandra's bad qualities. She tried to just kind of ignore them because as a teenager, you don't really have any other choice.
Yeah, it's your mom.
You can't lay down the law with your mom and be like, listen, Mom, we got to talk about your personality traits and what you need to change.
You got responsibilities now.
Yeah. Do that shit when you're 40 or something, but don't do it when you live in the house.
Yeah.
So one of her friends said, this is one of her teachers, the woman who taught her equestrian stuff, said she didn't want to be like her mother. She fought that a lot, being like her mother. This is Sherry Little. She's the woman who helped Andra better her equestrian skills and hone her chances at the Rodeo Queen contest.
Oh, she wants to be that, huh?
She wanted to be the rodeo queen. So she said she did not want to be like her mother. This Sherry Little said she knew right away that Andra had some problems when she met her. But she wanted to help the kid because she knew that she had a hard home life. So she said that she was helping Andra. Little was helping Andra try to be rodeo queen. And at the same time, Andra would work at her dairy where the Littles had a dairy, and so she would help out in exchange for lessons. That's how they'd pay back. Andra participated in the rodeo for a few years and then was active in the Idaho Horse Show Association.
Sure.
The IHSA. We all know that. Hey, everybody, just going to take a quick break from the show to tell you a little bit more about our stylish friends at Quince. That's right. Let's go elevate your styles, people. Yeah. Get it going. Look good out there. And you can do it now without breaking your wallet, without breaking the bank, because at Quince, you can get high-end, versatile pieces at prices we can all actually afford, which is very nice. You want to get good stuff that lasts and it's good, and they have quality stuff that's very affordable. And you can do like we did, upgrading our stuff here, well, still being a very reasonable price. Quince only works with factories that use safe, ethical, responsible manufacturing practices, along with premium fabrics and finishes. It's all quality stuff. You're going to love it. Trust us, it looks good. And I've got the leather jacket. It's a very high-quality item. Real nice, soft leather. Yeah. Jimmie's got his linen pants he's rocking.
Yeah, they're terrific.
Come on, be like us. Be fashionable. Get in there with Quince. Indulge in affordable luxury. Go to quince.com/smalltownmurder for free shipping on your order and 365-day returns. That's QUINCE.com/smalltownmurder to get free shipping and 365-day returns. Quince.com/smalltownmurder.
Now back to the show.
Hey, everybody, just going to take a quick break from the show to tell you a little bit about a very cool place, Thrive Market. Yes, we are both looking to get into the healthy swing this year. The problem is I don't know what's in everything, and I don't know if even I'm qualified to even read the labels to know if that's good or that's bad. Right. There's chemicals and things, and there's things floating around. I don't know what I'm doing out there. One of my favorite features, and I know you were talking to me about this, is the Healthy Swap Scanner in the Thrive Market app. Yeah, it's simple. You scan any item, and it'll instantly suggest a cleaner, healthier grocery alternative, it's great. Amazing. Yeah. That's great. Thrive Market also takes the guesswork out of finding these safe, healthy foods. For example, I'm trying to get my protein intake up. for energy. I'm always moving around. I need stuff. And I love that you can filter their site by the high protein options.
Nice.
It's very cool. And you can personalize this portion and you can put filters on it. And get ready. You should be ready for a junk-free start to 2025. Get ready for it and head to thrivemarket.com/smalltownmurder and get 30% off your first order plus a free $60 gift. That's THRIVE market.com/smalltownmurder, thrivemarket.com/smalltownmurder.
Now back to the show.
Calling all dog owners. Your furry friend deserves top-notch nourishment, and Ollie delivers the clean, fresh nutrition your dog needs in 5 flavors they'll absolutely flip over. Ollie is made in U.S. kitchens with ingredients carefully sourced from trusted growers and producers around the world, with absolutely no harmful fillers or preservatives. With protein-first recipes like fresh beef with sweet potatoes, fresh turkey with blueberries, or fresh lamb with cranberries, you might start thinking, dang, my dog eats better than I do. And that's probably true when it comes to Ollie. Give your pup a fresh start this new year by letting them taste test a personalized meal plan with Ollie. Head to ollie.com/Wondery. Tell them all about your dog and use code WONDERY to get 60% off your first box of meals when you subscribe today. Plus, they offer a clean bowl guarantee on the first box. So if you're not completely satisfied, you'll get your money back. That's OLLIE.com/Wondery and enter code WONDERY to get 60% off your first box. Start your dog's new year off right with Ollie. Start your dog's new year off right with Ollie.
So they grew very close. She grew close to her horse coach, I guess, as you would.
I mean, if that's the only other person in your life and you don't have parents that you're really bonded with, it's pretty easy to attach to an adult.
Yeah. Well, she's bonded with her dad, but apparently, this is a woman who doesn't threaten to kill her. So
right.
She's wants to bond with her a little bit.
And shit.
This Sherry Little said, I really love Andy. She's a great kid. She said for a while during her sophomore year, Andra, she was getting into fights all the time.
Oh.
Which is straight. She's like a blonde girl, too. It's
fist fighting?
Fist fighting with people. She was even transferred out of school for a week.
Oh.
She went to Valley High School for a week and then went back to her other school. So I don't know how that worked. That's a strange thing. They said that she saw Andra fighting through her family problems the whole time. Other teachers saw this as well. Minico, or however you say that, high school, they're the technology building. Andra is just good with woodworking. She does wood shop.
Really?
And she's really good at it. Yeah, I guess she's making an oak coffee table.
Sick.
Jesus Christ. I did wood shop. We made like a fucking candle holder thing, and it was really not that hard. This sounds way harder than what we had to do.
Yeah.
This is like advanced woodworking here.
There wasn't really, maybe there was too many injuries or something, but it looked like, I was never in wood shop, but from the passing by, the things that they were allowed to use seemed like you couldn't build much with them.
Oh no, we had dangerous tools.
Did you? Yeah, like bandsaws and shit?
Oh, bandsaws, lathes.
Really?
I'm sitting there with a chisel on a lathe.
Oh, my God.
Oh, yeah, no, we were doing all that. Bandsaws, table saws.
Big sanders?
Our fucking woodshop teacher had 3 fingers left. I mean, literally. Like, shit was dangerous. We were fucking... It was crazy. But then we were also didn't have any money, so you couldn't have a lot of wood. So you were going to be like, you're making a candlestick. You each get a piece of wood that's like a foot long and 3 inches wide, and you got to make something out of that. We don't have all this wood for you.
Our woodshop teacher also was the automotive teacher, and I think he funneled all the money from both classes into the electric car, because our electric car was like fucking state fast. It was faster than it won everything.
No wood shop, though, at all.
But I think he just maybe he pawned all the fucking tools.
Maybe, that's possible.
And built this fucking Porsche.
I remember metal shop being kind of terrifying because there's so many things where like, if you do that, everything will explode. If you do that, things will explode. You're like, you're letting... I remember one time our shop teacher...
16-year-olds touch this shit?
I don't know if he smelled it or heard it the right way, but some kid who had the oxyacetylene shit and wasn't doing it right, and my shop teacher hurdled 3 of those desk chairs... connected, hurdled them, and went over and shut them off. And he goes, you almost blew the whole goddamn wing off the building, you asshole. I'll never forget that. He screamed at the kid, you almost blew the whole wing off the building, you asshole. And we just died laughing.
Compressed gas is just open.
Yeah, it's like, well, why are you giving us this?
And you're over here with a flint roller.
Who do you think takes this class? Delinquents.
Yeah, we did this so we don't have to learn about Napoleon Bonaparte.
All of us are delinquents in this class. They stuck
Every
us
one
here.
of us are high right now.
Well, they stuck us here so we wouldn't disrupt a regular class. That's why we're here. Do you understand that? We're just here to not disrupt things.
Your fucking life now, sir.
And you're giving us oxyacetylene tanks? What the fuck is wrong with you?
Welcome to Dangerous Minds, Michelle Pfeiffer.
Stupid. Yeah. What's up, dummy? No wonder why you have 3 fingers. Christ. So the year before this, Andra made a beautiful oak silverware storage cabinet.
Oh.
And
cabinet.
The teacher was blown away. She was like
hinges and shit.
She was so good at woodworking that they were helping her. She was helping her make this coffee table as well. They had the school's cooperative program with the College of Southern Idaho, and they said that Andra would probably have 6 to 9 college credits coming out of school here from this stuff that she's doing. So
right out of the gate.
Right out of the gate. When she's into something, she's into something. They said she had a bit of an attitude when she first came to the high school as a sophomore, but she was getting in fights and all that. But then she matured. The teacher said her junior year, after she got settled in, she was just a different person. But then they said this year something was bothering this kid, Andra, and it's very weird. By the way, she has a big 1984 Ford pickup that she works on all the time too. Yeah. She drives around. Yeah, Andra's a badass. She's not messing around.
Big boxy ones.
Oh yeah, the big square jobs there, and it's a big has big tires on it. It's a big off-roading type thing.
3/4 ton. Goddamn it!
Yep, take that thing down the dirt road. It's fine. So they said this year, the teacher said she seemed a little more distracted from staying on task, and they thought that it was an obvious reason why. She had family problems. Yeah. The shop teacher said, quote, "She's basically a good person that just probably needs a mother to say I love you a little bit."
Jesus, that's the saddest thing I've ever heard.
So fucking sad, yeah. So otherwise, she'll just build coffee tables till the end of time. She really...
fucking armoires.
She's gonna... You know what? If she doesn't tell her, we could probably get some beautiful furniture out of this kid. I think we can do it.
Don't tell her we love
channeling.
Her. Yeah. Maybe she'll stock a whole furniture store.
So she's obviously channeling. So we can sell this stuff like pretend it's Amish people made it. It'll make a lot of money. They sell that for a lot. So 1997, the divorce is back on again between Milo and Sandra.
Okay.
It's back on. They've been married for, 16 years now, and it's enough already. Yeah. So it's not amicable at all.
Oh, boy.
Sandra, she moves out of the house. This is the thing. He stays in the house with the kids.
Okay.
And the kids go to visit her from time to time. Okay?
All right.
That's kind of how it works. Sandra gets a job doing road construction. While living in a borrowed trailer.
She's so badass.
They said, too, she lost a bunch of weight. She was feeling good about herself.
Yeah.
She's like, this is my trailer. That's right. Yeah. She's swinging a fucking whatever the hell, I don't know, doing jackhammer work during the day. She's a badass, this broad. Yeah, she's not. They just give her the break them rocks apart, and she's just smashing big rocks with a sledgehammer, busting them up.
She's smashing rocks with other rocks.
Give me a bigger rock. This rock's for pussies. And a pussy. What do you think I am, in the Navy? Give me a bigger rock. She's an Army gal. So, doing road construction, living in a borrowed trailer. In other words, life is her oyster at this moment in time.
You betcha.
For her, she's pretty happy, though. This time, right around now, Milo meets another lady.
Okay.
In the middle of the divorce, he does.
How does he's charming?
He just falls into it.
Yeah.
He's nice. He's kind. He's tall and handsome, and kind of a distinguished, older, rugged.
Okay.
Looks like a guy in his early 50s. It's kind of rugged, salt and pepper hair. He's a handsome guy for
big.
People.
Yeah.
He's a big guy too. They like that. He's a big kind of cowboy looking guy, even though he's not a cowboy.
Dude. Mid 40s to late 50s, tall, muscular, rugged guy.
Yeah, rugged guy.
If he's
Salt
single, he's gonna slay.
He's gonna slay with the divorcee crowd.
Oh
yeah.
God, Jesus.
He's gonna slay with the I have to be home to take my kids to school in the morning crowd. Gonna slay with that.
My 13-year-old just went to bed. I'll be over in a minute.
That's it. Yeah. They all have teenage kids.
Yeah.
Because they're all 40. But he meets Maida Marie Ring, who is now Maida Marie Jones. She's born Ring, and then she gets married later.
Married, yeah.
She gets married a couple times, but ends up keeping the Jones because I think that's a easy name to have. So
much easier.
I'm keeping that. So now his soon-to-be ex-wife is Sandra Jonas, and now this woman is Maida Jones.
Oh, God, just one letter off.
Yeah, try putting a fucking episode together like that. A little confusing. So Maida is born 1952, so she's 2 years older than Sandra. Okay. She was working as a waitress at and I heard this and I was like, oh man, what's this place like? The Hip Hop Cafe.
What is that?
It's not what you think it is at all. It's not at all like pictures of Tupac on the wall.
It's
more
Chuck Berry.
It's not even that. It's just called, I think there's like a rabbit thing on the sign. I think it's more like that. Like
it's got a rabbit thing.
Yeah. Yeah. Like it's in the middle of nowhere. It's a cafe.
It's rabbits and frogs. It's shit that jumps. That's it. Rabbits, frogs, grasshoppers. You get it.
It used to be called Ribbit, bitch, but then they changed it. Now it's Hip Hop Cafe.
Yeah.
So she was a waitress at the time, Maida was, and Milo was working for the trucking company still, and he was stopping by and eating.
Yeah.
And he ends up talking to her, and they're both nice people, and they chit-chat. Yeah. She's from American Falls, Idaho. She's born in 1952. Her
Twin
parents
Falls
are
or American Falls.
American Falls. She's from.
There's so many falls.
So many falls. There's a falls for every season there. So her parents are George and Martha. She grew up in the Lake Channel area of American Falls on a farm.
Yep.
She grew up on a farm, like an idyllic childhood farm life. Graduated from American Falls High School in 1970. She married a man named Lavelle Rupp in 1971.
Okay.
And had 2 children, Alan and David. Then she got divorced and married again to Larry Jones. And she was like, there's the name I want.
There he is.
She started with Ring, then went to Rupp, and then ends up with Jones. She's like, I want 5 letters tops. I'm not fucking with this stuff. I'm really not.
Is Ring like the doorbell?
No, it's with an E. Like it's Ringe, maybe. Ringe or Ring, either one. All right, it's Ring with an E. So Ringy, Ringy, who knows. But either way, she's definitely, Jones. She wants a fucking short name. She's going with Jones. Maida Jones, which sounds kind of cool, actually.
It's not bad.
Maida Jones sounds like a 70s movie star. Like,
feels like
Foxy Brown and Maida Jones are going to star in.
Yeah, it feels like a character that Quentin Tarantino would put in a movie.
Yeah, big afro, pulls a gun out of her tight leather suit, that sort of thing.
Yep.
Except she's very blonde and doesn't look like that at all. Yeah, everyone here is very blonde. This is all Mormons involved here. So
sometimes cowboy names sound not cowboy.
Like yeah,
Lavelle. That sounds. You know what I mean? You got Crawford.
Lavelle. Yeah,
that's a fucking cowboy name.
That's also a cowboy name. Yeah, you hear
Trey, cowboy name.
That's true. Well, yeah. It shouldn't be anybody's name, really, though. Let's be realistic here. No one should be named Trey.
Yeah, right.
Nobody should be named Trey. If that's what your name is, maybe call yourself. This is the time. Reinvent yourself.
Yeah,
you haven't liked that name ever, have you?
If that's your name, go buy your real name because it's not your name.
Mm-hmm. And if somebody named you Trey, go yell at your parents. Go, who came up with my fucking name? Who did this to me?
Stupid. Yeah.
This name sucks. All 3 of our listeners named Trey are quickly unsubscribing. We just lost 3 listeners. I know.
That's right. There's 3 of them. Treys, when you put 3 together, it makes 1.
That's why I said 3. That's why I said there's 3. It's got to do it all in 3s.
Yeah, they cancel each other out in 3s.
That's it. 3 Treys. Goodbye. So she marries Larry Jones. They later divorce as well. Mm-hmm. They have 2 children, Megan and Charles. So she has 4 kids altogether here by the 90s. Some of them are grown. They're in their 20s, some of them here. So this is Milo. What a great guy here. When he likes a woman, the way he gets them is to say, how'd you like to be a dispatcher at a trucking and construction company? Because this is his second. He gives her a job.
Yeah,
as the dispatcher at Circle A Construction. That's what he does.
To sit next to Sandra, or did she quit?
No. Sandra's doing road construction, living in a borrowed trailer.
Right.
That's all over with. She's gone.
We need a dispatcher.
She's going to move into her seat now.
Yeah.
So Maida is excited because this is a better job with the salary and everything. Right. And she is working overnights as the dispatcher.
Jesus.
For trucking, for their trucking side of the business. It's construction and trucking, apparently. Mm-hmm. So she's doing that. She does have, like I said, 4 kids. Sure, one of her family members said, as a mother, she's a very caring mother to her children. Her kids were always involved in sports in high school, and she never missed a game. She always had 2 or 3 different jobs trying to make the best for her kids and family.
Okay.
So this was an opportunity for her to not have to have 3 jobs.
Right.
And working overnight gave her an opportunity to make it to all the kids' games because all the kids were into sports and they were all doing stuff, and it gave her time to do that as well because she worked at night.
Now her kid-to-job ratio is so much better.
It's so much better. So she's excited, and at the same time, her and Milo become friends and become, closer and closer, and can't help but notice that they're 2 nice single people just a-mingling out here, and, hey, what are we going to do about it? So what will we do? May of 19... Man, that's what are you going to do? God, Trey.
I almost called him Trey.
Milo Trey Ross. It's his full name. No, it's not, but we could call him
Milo.
So May of 1998, Milo enters in what's called a whirlwind romance with Jones here, with Maida. Maida needs a place to stay. She is having her home redone. Yeah. She has a house, but she's having a bunch of the kitchen's getting redone and something else. There's some damage in the basement from something. She's having some stuff done, so she needs a place to stay. And Milo says, wouldn't you know it?
Half my bed's open.
I got a beautiful house. No, actually.
Oh.
That's how on the level Milo is, actually.
Yeah.
He actually doesn't say, I won't have premarital sex. Come here, come on.
Yeah.
He actually sets her up in a spare room in the basement.
Wow.
With a bed. So, and now Andra also lives in the basement. So there's 2 rooms in the basement, and Maida lives in one of the rooms in a bed, and Andra lives in another room there. So they did not share a bed before marriage. They
Impressive.
Didn't want to share a bed.
Practices what he preaches. Yeah.
Imagine having that in your house. It's like, okay, that's all fun and games, but we're both horny and we're in the house together. What are we talking about here?
As soon as the kids leave, it's naked time.
Yeah, we're definitely getting naked here. We're at least doing something fucking to make this happen.
We will rub.
We'll have James Marsden.
We'll
have James Marsden jump on the bed. It's fine. If you haven't seen Jury Duty, you should definitely watch that. Not the Pauly Shore movie, the new series.
Oh God,
it's hilarious.
So confusing.
And you'll understand that reference and laugh. So
smaller jumps.
Smaller jumps, James. No, bigger jumps. Maida here, she is always helping people. That's the other thing. Not only is she working overnights as a dispatcher, working the graveyard shift, she's also taking care of her kids. She's helping Milo with stuff around the house. She's got her house getting reconstructed. She's also one of the first advocates for victims of domestic violence and rape in Power County as well.
And unbelievable.
Yes, and rape. She's like, you know what? Not just domestic violence.
I'm tired of the punching, but the second that it goes even further, I'll help you too.
Let's get a big umbrella and put it on top of this bad boy, why don't we?
Right up until they murder you. I'll take care of you. I'll help you.
And then she's also a member of the Power County Domestic Violence Support Group as well.
Wow.
She also served as an EMT as well.
What?
An emergency medical technician for the Power County Ambulance Service, because they don't have a lot of EMTs because it's a rural area, and also was employed at Circle A Construction as the dispatcher. So she has got a lot going on, and it's all positive. There's not a lot of threats to people's lives, not a lot of alcoholism, just kind of doing positive things for people in the community and being nice to her family and stuff like that. So good for her. Good for her. And she's also a devout Mormon, by the way, as well.
Of course,
so and Milo likes that. They go to church together. Paul is actually getting ready to go on a mission to England for 2 years.
2 years? That's how long they do those?
The missions are 2 years, yeah.
It's
a long fucking time. They want you away from your family and everything, I guess, and whatever. So 2 years in England, so they're all getting ready for him to leave, and like they're having they're going to have a big celebration for him. I guess the church, when you leave to go on a mission, all the kids that are going on a mission go to the church and they have like a party for them, and all the kids make a speech and about them leaving and all that crap, and everybody, tells them they're going to miss them and all that shit. And then the family has a big celebration and they leave. Yeah. So that's how it works. October 23rd, 1998. She's been in the bed in the house down in the basement for like 5 months now. Yeah. Milo can't take it anymore. Balls a throbbing.
What do you say? We head on down to the courthouse.
He goes on and, well, no, he just goes and buys a nice engagement ring at a store, buys a ring, and gets and proposes to Maida on October 23rd, 1998. She's thrilled to accept.
Wow.
She tells her whole family she's on cloud nine. She couldn't be happier. She loves Milo. She's never been so happy. She can't wait to get married. So thrilled, super thrilled. Then that lasts for about 2 days. Okay. 2 days later, October 25th, 1998, Maida is preparing food for a big going-away party for Paul.
Yeah.
Apparently what's going to happen is she's preparing food. Paul's at church with Milo. She's going to get all this food started, then meet them at church in time to see Paul's speech and all that. Then they're all going to come back to the house, have a big feast.
Put him on a plane, send him to...
Yep, he's leaving... a couple days or whatever. So that's the plan here. So it's a Sunday morning. Everybody left for church. Maida tells Milo and Paul, go ahead. She'll meet them there. She's got a few things to chop, and she's got to put a roast in the oven, and it should be ready right when we get back.
Gonna make a roast.
Fucking perfect timing here.
Wow.
So they go, yeah, sounds great. They leave for church, and she never shows up at church.
Oh.
And they're like, damn, that roast must have been a beast. Like, what's up with that?
Yeah.
It's a big fucking roast. So they get back to the house, and she's not at the house.
Oh.
And they're like, what the fuck? And when they walk into the house, because this is like, 6 o'clock, 5 hours go by.
Right.
They walk in the house, nobody's there. She's not there. And they said, what? There's a roast in the oven, okay?
Oh.
But there's an overwhelming smell of cleaning solutions that they smell. Oh. Paul and Milo. And they're like, what the fuck is, God, it reeks of cleaning solution and burnt roast. Like, what is that? So they notice the oven's on, the roast is in there, burnt to a crisp.
It's horrible, yeah.
Which is not, Maida doesn't burn a roast. Like, she ain't burning your roast.
No.
Not messing around. So they're like, that's weird. What the hell happened? So they're like, this is very strange. Paul said the roast was in the oven still, and it had been completely burnt to a crisp, which was not like Maida. My dad said, something's just not right. So they sit there, and they wait for a few hours. They can't find her. This is pre-cell phones here. Yeah. So, 98, they're just sitting around trying to wait for her. And she doesn't come home. So they go, well, we'll wait. She has to work graveyard. So once 11 o'clock comes and she has to be at work, we'll call there. She's never not shown up at work.
We'll
know
where she is then. Yep.
Yeah, something must have happened, maybe with her family or something, and she couldn't get to a phone. So then we'll know once she gets to work. So then they call work a few minutes after 11. She never shows up for work either.
No Maida at work.
So no Maida at work, roast burnt. They start getting up and kind of looking around the house. It's at that point where they see what appears to be a bullet hole in the wall.
Oh, in the wall.
Milo and Paul. So they go, let's go ahead and call the sheriff's department. What do you say? This is, she's missing, didn't show up at work, bullet hole in the wall. I think maybe we're outside of our realm of expertise now. So they do. They call the Jerome County Sheriff's Department to report her missing. And Detective Chatterton is the one there. We'll talk about him later because he's got an interesting arc later on after this story here.
Chatterton?
Chatterton does, yeah. He's an interesting cat. So this is what he says. He says, quote, when called to the house at about 12:01 a.m. Monday to investigate the disappearance, detectives found a blood smear on the back steps.
Oh.
They found droplets and a smear going down the back steps, not the front, the back. And a large reddish stain on the dining room carpet, which isn't good. Yeah. The stain was still wet and smelled like pine-scented cleaner.
Okay, yeah.
So it had been shampooed.
Pine Sol. Yeah.
Red Pine Sol, been like 10 minutes ago.
Yeah.
Also, they find in the wall, they dig in and find a very damaged .22 slug in that bullet hole in the wall. Okay. And what appeared to be blood spatter found on a wood stove on the other side of the room.
Oh.
It's a little bit of spatter over there. Now, in the wall, by the way, where the bullet was, on the wall, kind of where the bullet would go through, they also found a hair there as well.
Oh,
There was a hair on the bullet, and it went through. So they said what appeared to be blood and human hair were also found in one of the beds. In the bed in the rear bumper of the pickup truck in the house later on as well. We'll talk about that, but that didn't come till later. So the sheriff here, or the deputy, Jerome County Sheriff's Lieutenant, he said, the feeling almost from the beginning was this is not a missing persons case. We were almost immediately convinced we were looking for a body.
Yeah, it feels like it.
I see big blood stains, cleaned up, bullet holes in walls with hair, blood spatter.
Hair's all over the place. Jesus.
Fucking blood going out the back door. There's a problem. So the detectives talked to, obviously, Paul and Milo. They're the ones there. So they talked to them. Detective said Paul was kind of quiet. But Milo, he said he was, quote, appropriately concerned, confused, and lost a bit by the situation.
Sure.
He was just like, what the fuck? What? Like a normal person would be. Like, what's going on? What can we do? What's up with this shit? They said that Maida right away is not a runaway type of person. Mm-hmm. Sometimes people just take off. And someone who has all these responsibilities that she seems to enjoy fulfilling and is literally in the middle of one. She's in the middle of cooking a roast.
Right.
People don't put a roast in, chop up a bunch of vegetables, do that, put some tin foil over it, get the oven preheated, put it in, and then be like, fuck this family and fucking leave. That's not normal.
I'm going to Wyoming.
I'm leaving. Yeah, I'm going to be a cowgirl on the ranch in Wyoming. It's not normal. So Milo and Paul, they said, are there anything of value missing from the house? Can you guys do us a favor, walk around the house and look for if anything of value is missing from here? Mm-hmm. So they said they couldn't find anything of value missing, but they point out some very odd things about the house. Milo says there was about 5 or 6 newspapers on the dining room table that are gone now.
Newspapers?
Old newspapers, 5 or 6. You know how everybody will stack something on the dining room table?
Yeah.
It's newspapers for them. You know what I mean?
Okay. And the newspaper thing is it's when you finished all the ad shopping, all the fucking coupons are clipped, you just stick it there. Maybe we'll read this later.
Yeah, everybody had a pile of old newspapers when new people used to get newspapers. He said those are gone. Also, there was a throw rug under the dining room table on top of that carpet. That's gone too. No throw rug, 6 newspapers gone. Okay. Also, when they went down in the basement to see if anything was taken of value out of Maida's room, they noticed nothing's gone. There's no valuables gone. The only thing that's missing is her entire bed and bed frame are missing.
Frame and everything.
Not just the mattress, not just the bedding. Everything's gone. There's no bed there now.
Somebody took apart a frame.
A frame. Didn't steal rings or earrings or jewelry or any of that shit. Just took a bed frame and 6 old newspapers and a throw rug. That's all that's missing in the whole house. Which is very odd haul for a
very strange
for a burglar, if that's the case. So
they're
not
odd caper, to say the least.
I need the sports section from Friday. Get that for me. I need a tiny throw rug that I could use as a shawl for my little dog. And you know what? I could use a new bed. I'm breaking in.
Business
all
section,
I need.
2 days ago.
You know what? Shit, I'm looking for a job right now. If I could find one, I don't have to do this. So,
looking for a job and a 76 Duster.
That's what I'm doing. You got one? I'll check the classifieds. I got 6 days worth. So they wanted to. Andra's also in the house when they're there. She's in her room in the basement, and she said she's been sick all night. She's had an upset stomach and she's been kind of in and out of sleeping and just hasn't been feeling well all night. Now it's like 1-something in the morning by this point. And the cops are like, that's weird because if you were a 17-year-old kid sitting down there and you hear all this activity going on upstairs at 1 o'clock in the morning, cops here and people walking around the house and your brother and father coming down to look for missing valuables, you might go, what up with that? You know what I mean? Like, what's happening? But she just stayed in bed.
In a few minutes, at least some point tonight, there was a gunshot that happened because that bullet hole wasn't there when we left.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Maybe that. So the detective here, this is Chatterton, he says, I met with Milo Ross and his son Paul, and I was told in the house was also his daughter. She was 16 or 17 years old at that time. Her name was Andra, and she was sick in bed. That immediately seemed odd to me for the reasons I just explained. He said, normally a kid that's 16, 17 would be like, what the fuck's going on up here? So they said no valuables other than those that we said. So they decide to, they think there's a crime that's happened here. So they want to lock this down as a crime scene. They don't have a mobile crime lab. So they need to get the state mobile crime lab to come in because they don't have a lot of murders around here. So they say, we got to lock down the house, and guys, pack an overnight bag, and we're moving you to a motel for the night. So grab your toothbrushes and grab all that shit. As they're all preparing to leave, now Andra comes upstairs because she has to leave. They said that Andra refused to make eye contact with the detectives, and her face was, quote, as white as a sheet, is what one detective said. Which, if she's sick, that also makes sense. You look pale.
Yeah.
Now, to leave, to go to the hotel, she grabbed her keys and wanted to drive her pickup truck.
Oh.
And the detective said, no, it's at the house, so we can't let anything from the house leave, only your toothbrushes and stuff like that. Otherwise, it's all part of the crime scene. She kept insisting on taking the truck. I want my car. I want to take my truck. I got my music in there, this and that. She had all these excuses. Right. You're not allowed, sweetheart. Not allowed to do it. So the police give them a ride to the motel. Mm-hmm. They leave everything at the house here. So the next day, crime scene investigators are there at 7 o'clock in the morning. That's when they retrieve a small caliber, very damaged bullet from the inside of the dining room wall. Also is when they look at Andra's truck outside, and Chatterton said it looked like blood had run out of the bed of the truck and was dried on the back bumper.
Oh.
That's not good.
No.
And it looked like the back had been washed out recently as well, they said.
Oh.
It looked like it had been cleaned. So they were like, the one cop said, very happy I didn't release this truck from the crime scene because there's blood on it. That's not good.
Even if it's animal blood, how crazy is it that she didn't even notice that there's blood running up the fucking back?
That's weird. I mean, people that are hunting all the time, you see some weird shit. Yeah. There's if you drive, remember us driving through some of these states where there'd be these cars that are covered in blood with fucking deer on top of them, and you're like, oh my God.
It's so weird.
It looks crazy. It's just your car's covered in blood. Wash your car off. It's covered in blood. So it's at that point where they're like, this is really weird. They're like, why would there be blood in her car? She has what's going on? It's at that point the police get a phone call.
Oh.
Okay. They're searching the house, and everybody's in a motel. They get a phone call, and it's from someone they did not expect to hear from.
Who is it?
It's from Sandra Jonas's mother, Colleen.
Oh.
Okay. She called police because she had talked to Milo, and Milo had told her what had happened, and if you need to get a hold of the kids, we're in this motel, and blah, blah, blah. Colleen became immediately concerned, and she said she feared that her daughter might have had something to do with Jones disappearing.
Oh.
Yeah, this is from the sheriff captain here. Quote, Colleen had said that her daughter could be very ornery and that she could be very mean when drinking and that she had a bad alcohol problem.
Yeah.
Well, Colleen blamed, she went into gossiping now. Colleen said her whole marriage fell apart because of her drinking. She said her marriage.
CPS took her baby. That's why she's crying.
That's right. CPS, she's crying. Her. And she also said that Sandra's still very much in love with her ex-husband and has been drinking more heavily because she's very upset. So Chatterton said, quote, Colleen said that Sandra had never accepted the divorce. In her mind, her and Milo, although they weren't legally married, were still together.
You can't leave me.
In her mind, that's it. Yeah. No, we're hitched there. Yeah, I don't know if you knew that or not, but.
Do you remember that till death part?
Well,
I mean it.
I meant it. I don't care if you did or not. So apparently this is the day, by the way, this is the day that this all happened, was the day that Sandra found out about the engagement from 2 days ago. She just heard about it, had flown off the fucking handle and told Colleen all about it, her mom, and went batshit over it. Colleen said this sent Sandra in a rage, over the edge. She said she's not only is she pissed, she's also armed, she said, too. So she said, quote, Sandra had been seen with a .22 caliber pistol on Sunday afternoon, and she had even made a comment to her mother, I believe it was, that, quote, I should kill that Maida while holding a gun. And then the lady disappears that day. So, and her mom, she's not even gone for 24 hours, and her mom is already blowing up her spot, being like,
just sing.
I'm afraid. Because she really hates this lady. She really likes her husband. Like, not only giving just the basics, like a lead, also giving a motive, and really laying the case out for them. I did find some shell casings, in case y'all are interested. I could drop them all off at the police station. So they search a trailer that they believe Sandra is thought to be living. And In there, they find a Ruger 22 caliber semi-automatic pistol.
Uh-oh.
Yep, they said that that's obviously, that fits the description of the weapon that everybody saw her with that day.
Yep.
Was a 22 pistol. And it's at this point, too, that they also find out from Mom that, yeah, you should search her house. And while you're at it, she did. When she moved into this trailer, she put a lot of stuff in a storage unit, so you might want to check that out, too. Here's the address for the storage unit, in case you all want to know. Just giving them everything.
Oh, God.
I got a hair sample from a hairbrush in my house that in case y'all need some DNA, I can bring that to you. It's like, just hire the mom. Colleen is a detective. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
So they go to this storage unit, and it's Sandra rents it. They searched, it's insulation and rental storage in Burley is what they search here. Mm. And the cop said going in, this is Sheriff Billy Crystal, by the way.
Terrific.
Sheriff Billy Crystal. He brought the herd in, and now he's a sheriff in Idaho. Yeah. Perfect. Sheriff Billy Crystal. There's a better name coming up, Jimmy. Wait till you hear it.
Oh, I can't wait.
I'm saving time because we're going to need some time to bat it around. Like a cat will bat around like a ball of yarn. We're going to be knocking this thing back and forth for a while. Well, we'll beat it like a dead bird anyway. Yeah. We'll beat it to death. So this Billy Crystal said, quote, they expected to find a body in there going in. They're fully expecting that's where the body is in the storage unit. They don't find a body in there.
What do they find?
They do find the missing bed taken apart.
Uh-oh.
Whole bed frame mattress.
She put that in storage?
In her storage unit.
Wow.
And a shitload of cleaning supplies, a bunch of them with smeared blood residue. You know, like if your gloved hand was bloody and you grabbed the cleaning supply and then put it down and then left blood on the cleaning supply.
You picked up the Lysol bottle.
You cleaned everything with the Lysol bottle but didn't clean the Lysol bottle. That's the problem.
Your hand.
Or your hand. So that's what they find in there.
All right.
Not great. They also find blood-stained rags.
Yeah.
That's not good. A bloody shoe print just outside the door. Any other evidence? A trail of M&Ms leading to her fucking to her front door? Like, what are we talking about?
Just leave the body in there.
That's what I mean. Why not? What's the difference? So they said, okay, we're going to hold off on Sandra because we don't have a lot of ideas and evidence. We need to build a full case on her. They need to build an arrestable case.
Yeah, I mean, we have a bed that used to be in that house this morning.
But they don't know how it got there yet.
Yeah.
So they'd like to do some interviewing, and they think that Sandra's going to be a tough nut to crack.
Okay.
She's not the type where you're going to bring her in there and make her feel guilty, and she'll go, you're right, I did it, I'm sorry. So they need to have evidence. She needs to be pinned in a corner before they think she's going to crack, basically. So they're like, let's bring Andra in. She was in the house. She said she was sick. She's white as a ghost. She doesn't look very like she's telling the truth. Let's find out if she might know more than we think she knows.
Covered in blood, yeah.
Her truck is covered in blood that she wants to drive. So they said that the cops said they knew that the Rosses, Milo, Paul, and Andra, were staying with a friend of theirs, family friends, at a house near their church, okay? They had taken them in because obviously they didn't want to stay at their house right now and it's a crime scene. So the cops said they calculated to show up. They said it was right about 10:30 p.m. because they figured right before that, everybody, about an hour, half hour before that, everyone will have said their prayers and did all that stuff. And everybody will be thinking very nice and calm and contemplative and all that kind of stuff. Yeah. That's when we swoop in and and break up the peace of this fucking joint. So
their false sense of security, ready to go to bed.
Exactly. Got your PJs on, feeling all fucking nice. Yeah, warm glass of milk next to you. Yeah. So they show up at 10:30 and they go in and they're going to interview Andra in the house. They want to interview her right there just to make it like it seem real casual and comfortable. Yeah. So they talk to Andra and they go, look, Andra, we have some evidence. And it's her and Milo are in the room because she's a minor. So Milo's her father. He's standing in the room. And they said, listen, we'd like to talk to you. There's just been some stuff that's come to our attention that we feel like maybe you know something that we need to tell you.
Yeah.
And she looked at her father and said, can you please leave the room?
Oh, Dad, get out. I got some shit to say.
So Milo said, I guess if you want me to. And are you comfortable? And she said, no, I want to talk to them and I can't do it in front of you. You got to leave the room. So Dad leaves the room. They're left with Andra here, 17 years old. And she takes a deep breath And this is how she starts, okay? This is a hell of a... You know, they talk about burying the lead a lot. Andra should be a journalist because she certainly doesn't bury the lead. Anyway, this is a quote from Chatterton. Quote, she proceeded to tell me, quote, one thing that you got to know before we start. The head's not with the body.
Oh, Jesus.
Everyone went, what? That's not what we expected. Yeah. We were looking for, I heard a gunshot at 6 o'clock, not the head's not with the body. That's not what we expected to come out of your little blonde head. What the fuck?
Wow.
So they said, okay, you want to elaborate on that a little bit?
And
slightly?
go.
And go. And Andra said, well, I didn't know what was going on, but she was with her mother that day beforehand, that she started out at Mom's house. And she said that Mom told her, Sandra asked her to, oh, that's why she's Andra, Sandra and Andra.
I just got it as soon as you said that.
Me too. It's
Sandy and Andy.
We both looked up at the same time at each other and said, oh my God, she named her kid Sandy.
It's
Andy,
Mom
Andra.
without the S.
Oh my God. That is
what the hell?
Disturbing. So anyway, Sandy asks Andy, would you come and help me get a bed that's still at your father's house? It's my bed, but I need you to help me. Okay. Just help me take the parts, take it apart. It'll go quicker if we both do it. We'll get it in there. She said her mom really wanted this bed. She wanted to take this bed. Why? So Maida didn't have one. We're taking this bed because she's not going to sleep in my house. Yep. That was my bed that was in my house, and she's not going to. I'll just take the bed. Then what's she going to do? She can't sleep in the bed. Then no. All she's doing is making her then go sleep in the bed with Milo because that's where she's not going to sleep on the floor.
Left. Right.
Yeah. But I got the bed left. That's fine. So she said that they arrived. Andra and Sandra arrived at the house when Dad and Paul had already left for church, and it was just Maida Jones, and she was cooking. So she said that immediately Sandra got into a big screaming match with Maida. I mean, it was like fire from the beginning. Open the door, you fucking bitch in my fucking house, and you, how dare you, I'm taking that fucking bed because it's mine, blah, 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 and Milo, blah, blah. I mean, just going on a tirade.
Holy.
So a lot of people have heard this tirade before. So then she turns to Andra here, Sandra does. She turns to Andra and says, go wait in the basement till I'm done. Go fucking start taking the bed apart and wait down there for me. I'm going to fucking argue up here. So Andra said, okay. She goes down in the basement and starts taking the bed apart. I guess that's just, she's listening to Mom at this point. Yeah. So she said that she heard a voice and a loud thump in an adjacent bedroom room. Okay. Then she heard what sounded like someone wearing heavy shoes or boots moving quickly up the stairs. By the way, Sandra's got her steel-toed work boots on today.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. So she hears doof, 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 up. You know how if anybody in East Coast basement or anybody with a basement, you know how basement stairs sound. You can hear them. So she hears this and she's just hears, thump and then doof, 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 doof. So Andra's like, what the fuck is going on? Wrench, wrench, wrench. Like, I'm not interested in this. So Andra said she began shaking with fear at that point. She was very scared, and she called out for her mother, and at that point she heard the sound of a gunshot come from upstairs.
Oh.
Yeah. So she was like, oh, fuck. So she waited. Her mother never answered her, and there was a gunshot. So she waited. A few minutes go by. She sits down there just in the quiet waiting, and then after a few minutes there's a second gunshot.
What?
And she's like, what the fuck here? It's pretty interesting. What she did, what she'll end up telling Andra that she did, Sandra, was she shot Maida in her left cheek with the slug exiting near her left ear. And she was also shot in the back of the head with powder burns on her. So it was fucking up against her, execution style, right up like a mob hit. So anyway, Andra comes upstairs and sees Maida's dead body on the floor, wrapped in the dining room throw rug.
Wow.
We know what happened to the rug.
Yeah.
Andra said her mother told her, I shot her under the eye and had to shoot her in the back of the head. Mm-hmm. So Sandra then got her daughter involved and says, you got to help me clean this up. She goes, it's a hell of a mess to clean up. You got to help me. Because otherwise we won't get it all cleaned up by the time Dad and your brother come home.
Right.
So Andra said she was nauseated while cleaning up blood all over the house, but she said she was kind of in shock and she didn't know what was going on.
That makes sense.
I could see that. Yeah. I could see that for this girl, because this girl noticed she likes Maida. She likes her. She was excited it was going to be her new stepmom. So this is very weird. Especially, she's always looking for a mother figure. Now she's got a very nice lady who's very willing to play the part. So
making a roast.
Making a roast, exactly. Not running around coming home drunk and yelling at people. It's a little bit different. She said she was in shock. She said, I had no feelings, no anger, no hate, no fear. And she said that Sandra appeared at the same time expressionless as well. They were just fucking blank-faced doing this.
Catatonic, just doing weird shit.
Doing real weird shit, cleaning up brain off the floor.
Right.
So her mother then instructed her, tells Andra to go fix the basement telephone, which she said Sandra said she broke because Maida tried to pick it up and use it, and that was the sound of the thump that she heard, was her kicking the phone off the wall and attacking her, and that's why there was a hole in the wall right there as well by the phone. So, wow. They then take the body, rolled up in the throw rug, take it out the back stairs. That's why there's blood drops down the back stairs, and put it into Andra's 1984 orange and tan Ford pickup truck.
My truck?
My truck. She's got a pickup.
Oh, my God.
So Andra said she helped her mother load up the body and the bed frame parts into the pickup truck, like we're moving now.
Yeah.
And then Andra drove. Sandra made Andra drive. They drive to a nearby canal. It's about a mile and a half away, where this is fucking crazy. Okay, this is where it really gets wild. As if it wasn't wild enough already, it gets really wild. So she then tells Andra, stay in the car.
Yeah, you don't want to watch this.
I got to take care of something. Gets out of the car. Andra watches her through the mirrors the whole time. She's got to see what kind of a monster her mother is here. So she watches her pull the body out of the bed of the pickup truck on the ground, watches her strip Maida's body of all her clothing.
Yeah.
Then she watches Sandra pull out a hunting knife and saw off Maida's head with a hunting knife.
Oh, boy.
She cut her head off with a 5-inch hunting knife.
Oh,
5-inch blade. A thick, sturdy one, not a little pocket knife, but a fixed, like a
5 inches.
She sawed her fucking head off with a 5-inch blade.
That's a tiny knife.
Do you know how much work that takes?
Oh, God, Jesus.
And how gross that is, and how horrifying that is to do to a human being? It's one thing if you got a big machete and did it in one chop or something. That'd be gross still, but she had to hold her by the hair and just fucking saw this shit.
Jesus.
I'm sorry to be graphic about it, but holy Christ. I mean think about what you have to do.
Everybody saw those ISIS videos. That was like a 12-inch blade. This is not even half
sort
that.
of shit.
Yeah.
It was made for head chopping, that blade.
Right.
This is not a head cutting blade.
No,
this is made for like
a fish head chopping knife.
Yeah, maybe cut the guts out of a fish and had a point at the end like that. So she watches her do that. She then, this is from Chatterton, a quote from the detective. Her mother threw the head into the canal, picked it up by the hair and just tossed it into the canal.
Oh, my God.
Then dragged the rest of the body out to the canal as well and just pushed that in the water, rolled it into the water.
Yeah.
And when Mom came back, she told Andra, quote, don't worry, nobody will ever be able to identify her if they do find her.
I put the head and the body in at the same time in the same place. Nobody will ever find both.
No one will find those together. Then she said, Mom, how could you do this?
Yeah.
And Sandra said, quote, it's no harder than killing cats.
Oh, Ma.
Oh, well, that makes it better then. That's not normal either. Again, not normal. Killing cats isn't normal. That shouldn't be easy for you either. No harder than killing cats. Step on it, sweetheart. Let's get out of here. Didn't give a fuck, she said.
Creating really great retail experiences is tough, especially with multiple stores, teams of staff, fulfillment centers, separate workflows. It's a lot. But with Shopify Point of Sale, you can do it all without complexity. And let's face it, acquiring new customers is expensive. With Shopify POS, you can keep shoppers coming back with personalized experiences and first-party data that give marketing teams a competitive edge. In fact, it's proven, based on a report from EY, businesses on Shopify POS see real results, like 22% better total cost of ownership and benefits, equivalent to an 8.9% uplift in sales on average relative to the markets that surveyed. Want more? Check out at shopify.com/Wondery. All lowercase, and learn how to create the best retail experiences without complexity. Shopify.com/Wondery.
February is the month of love, and we all deserve a little something special. Dime Beauty is having their annual Valentine's sale right now, where you can get 25% off everything with code VALENTINE. It's the perfect excuse to refresh your beauty routine or pick out a thoughtful gift. At Dime, clean is more than a standard. It's their promise. Dedicated to skin-conscious ingredients, they focus on creating beauty, skincare, body care, and fragrances that are safe, gentle, and free from harsh chemicals. With Dime, you can trust what you're putting on your skin every single day. If you're looking for the perfect nighttime anti-aging cream, their TBT cream is a must-try. It's packed with clean, age-defying ingredients that nourish and hydrate your skin while you sleep. But don't just take my word for it. Over 3,000 five-star reviews speak for themselves. Whether it's skincare, fragrance, or a little bit of both, Dime has something for everyone. Visit DimeBeautyCO.com and use code VALENTINE for 25% off right now during their Valentine's Day sale. Grab your favorites before it's over. DimeBeautyCO.com.
So they find this information out from Andrea, like we said, at the house. Then they have to walk out of the room with Andrea and walk up to Milo and go, "We got a lot to tell you, Milo." Yeah. And they do. They have to say, "Andrea just told us that your wife murdered your fiance and cut her head off with a hunting knife. We're going to go check the canal for her head now. Have a good one." That's literally what they have to say. "You and Paul hang tight. We're going to go look for your fiance's head. Be back soon."
Unreal.
BRB, going to go on a head hunt right now. Yeah. Might be in the canal. So they take Andrea out. They drive her. It's only a mile away. They drive her out to the canal, and she says, "This is the spot I backed up to." And she said her mother threw the head. It looked like it went out about this far, whatever.
Oh, God.
So she shows the spot. They have the water to the canal, to the dam, shut off so it drains.
Yeah.
They drain the canal for about 8 hours overnight here, all night. Then at about 7 o'clock in the morning, they get divers out there and start looking when the water's lower. God. And they find the head soon because Andrea knew where her mom threw it.
Right.
And Chatterton explains, quote, "The human head doesn't float if it's severed from the body."
Thanks, Chatterton.
Thanks. He's a real...
Thanks, you fucking creep.
Fucking grim chatty over here. This is...
You don't have to give us that piece. Just say, "We found it rather quickly." That's all we have to say.
Head. Well, no, he goes on to graphically explain how they find the head, which only our fucking listeners would be interested in, and us. So... The human head doesn't float if it's severed from the body. It weighs roughly 8 pounds, and when you fling it out into the water, it's going to reach the apex of your throw, hit the water, and sink. So they're like trying to get a trajectory on it. They're like, trajectory of this, it lands here, it's going to boom, it's going to immediately sink. So that's where it is. He said, and that's literally right where we found the head.
Wow.
Right where they calculate. So it's probably there, within 3 feet of there, and it's exactly where it was. But they don't see the rest of the body.
No,
can't find that.
It floats.
It takes till 2 o'clock in the afternoon until they find her torso and some of her clothes and personal items, too, in separate spots because she just threw everything in the canal about 1.5 miles away. It had floated down. They find her body, like her bra was found on a rock. They found,
That's fucked up.
Stuff like that. The autopsy reveals that she did, in fact, die from 2 gunshot wounds to the head, just like Sandra told her.
Yeah.
One came out and one, I think, was in. They believe that she had been shot sometime between 1 p.m. Sunday or around there. That's the ballpark here. 2979 East 2979 East 1010 South is the street.
Wow, what an address.
I don't know. That's a weird address, man.
That's Idaho, though.
I guess it's Hazelton. It's just southeast of Hazelton, just barely inside the Jerome County line, they said. They concluded the body was then placed in the vehicle, moved to the canal. So They take Andra from the canal to the sheriff's department to arrest her, obviously. Right. They have to arrest her. They charge her with accessory to murder, but they figure then Sandra's a different kind of cat. Andra's she's a crying teenager. You can arrest her. If they go bum rush Andra in the middle of the night and knock on her fucking door, she's going to know why they're there.
Yeah.
She's not going to be like, "Can I help you, officers?" They're afraid she's crazy enough.
Oh, is it about the murder?
They're afraid she's crazy enough to come out shooting because she threatens to kill all these people. She's obviously not in her fucking...
She kills animals. Anyone
who can take a woman and just grab their head and saw it off for 10 minutes with a hunting knife is capable of fucking anything. So they're scared of her. So they decide that they are going to wait until she leaves for work the next morning and get her coming out of the house.
Oh.
So she won't suspect it. So she comes out of her house on a Tuesday morning and they jump all over her and arrest her. They bring her in. And what does she have on her at the time?
The gun.
Number one, they found the gun in the search of the other thing.
Okay.
Remember?
Yeah.
They found the 22.
Does she have that fucking blade in her pocket?
They found a fixed blade, 5-inch bladed hunting knife. Exactly what Andra described her using. She has it in her fucking pocket. They described it as a big, sturdy knife, not nothing small. You could take a head off with it.
Solid handle.
In the other pocket, while they're taking stuff out, something falls out of her pocket, hits the floor.
What is it?
Rolls off. They pick it up. It is fucking Maida's engagement ring.
What?
In her pocket.
She kept it?
Only the top of it, the band part, had been cut off. She snipped the band part off. She cut off its head, too.
The gems?
The whole, top part. It had the gems with the other stuff around it. Just, snipped the band. So the band, just the top part.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what she has on her. By the way, Milo has a receipt for the ring. Brought it back to the shop. It's the same ring. It's Milo's. So she has the fucking decapitation weapon and the victim's ring in her pocket.
Right.
She was taking that around with her in her pocket.
Gross.
She didn't put that in a shelf somewhere.
No.
She's like, it's with me all the time.
And not even the ring. It's just the fucking crown of it.
Yep, take that. So, wow. So they hold Sandra without bond because they're like, she's fucking dangerous here. This, obviously, people freak out. They arrest Andra as well. So now, the public is just they arrested a mother and a daughter. They don't know if the daughter's just as in on it. Maybe the daughter did it. The mother helped out. The rumors are rampant as far as everything goes. Yeah, it's wild. Andra decides at this point, this is wild. Talk about mothers calling the cops on their daughters accepting plea deals to testify against their mothers. These people are not Italian. I know that much. This is so Andra agrees to plead guilty to a charge of being an accessory to murder in connection with this whole thing.
Okay.
Because she drove the truck, she helped out with the body, she did all that. She also threw away 2 spent .22 caliber shell casings, believed to have, those are the murder casings there. And they also said she was charged with concealing evidence because of that, but they're willing to drop that charge in exchange for a plea on the other one and her testimony.
Mm-hmm.
So they said, quote, this is what her defense attorney said, she's going to be scarred for life. She'll never forget what she's seen.
No kidding.
No kidding. She doesn't she's not heartless. She's not one of these people who's like, let's chop off her head.
Right.
So for just a regular kid who's a nice kid and trying to make her way in the world and her mom's kind of an asshole to her and everything, this is brutal.
She just asked, why did you do that?
Absolutely. So she's going to do that. Her lawyer said, quote, they want first degree, and the only person who can effectively give it to them is her.
Yeah.
They want Sandra first degree, and they're only getting it if Andra testifies. The lawyer also says she's not doing it to save her hide. This was a tough decision for her. She's doing it to do the right thing.
Yeah.
And there's no reason for her to throw her whole life away because her mom did something that she had nothing to do with.
Right. Yeah.
Mom's fucked either way. She's fucked.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
She's done. So during a hearing, this is a preliminary hearing to make sure she'll testify here. By the way, Sandra keeps wearing her mirrored sunglasses in the courtroom.
In the courtroom?
All through the fucking court proceedings.
Wow.
Can you get a dumber thing to do? You're trying to make a connection with the jury, with the judge, with all these people. She's like, nope, I'm a fucking mirror. I'm a brick wall.
Yeah.
No emotion. Wow, that is amazing to me. So, she's got the mirrored sunglasses on. So Andra said that her mother in court had told the line about, she told her that it was no harder than killing cats.
Gross.
And she said that they said Sandra Jonas at that point hung her head and wept. Her daughter just fucking
just sold her up the river.
In every way, shape, and form. So they're going to have a trial for her, but then they're saying the death penalty's on the table for you there, darling. Oh. And so Sandra agrees to plead. First, she pleaded innocent to first degree, but she changes her plea to guilty in exchange for taking the death penalty off the table.
As long as you don't do what I just did.
Please don't saw my head off for 10 minutes. So her lawyer said, basically, you're fucked. Yeah. You have no chance here. They can do whatever they want. They have all the evidence, witness. Right. You're done. You had a ring in your pocket. You're fucked. And she had to. She now faces at least 10 years in prison or a maximum of life without.
Okay.
Life without parole. So 10 years the minimum. There's the maximum, depending on what kind of murder it was. Yeah, it's depending on what kind of murder it was. I think this is as bad as it gets, right?
Yeah, there's no way that's a 10-year.
No. I think once you saw someone's head off, you're going for extra time at that point. For me.
Yeah, I mean, it feels like every stroke should be another decade.
Right? That's what I mean. You get two people next to me, and they're both murderers, but one of them literally took a knife and sawed the woman's head off. I'm terrified of what they're capable of. Terrified. It's anything.
Yeah, they got the blood all over them.
Oh, it's sprayed in their mouth. They tasted it.
Bathed in it, yeah.
They wiped their eyes because there's blood in it. That's crazy. So
much that they felt the temperature of it.
Oh, my God. That's fucking wild. Yikes. So they said that the lawyer will ask the county judge who is presiding to issue, this is the district attorney, says they want life without parole.
Yeah.
The district attorney also says, I was looking forward to going to trial with this one. I guess this is best for everyone. It's like, it was going to be so much fun. I had everything. I was going to totally win that shit.
I wanted to say so many bad things about her.
Fuck. I wanted to feel like my cousin Vinny at the end of a trial. You know, he was, I won. Yay. We're all happy now. Yeah. Jerry Callow. You know, it's great. So her attorney, Sandra's attorney, would not comment on the sentencing because that he would like to request at this time. Here, he doesn't think so. They are going to do a mitigation hearing, obviously, to see what the deal is. The lawyer says this is when the state will put on testimony about all the bad things my client's done, and when we will put on testimony about all the good things she has done. We've just told you a whole story. Have we gotten to many good things?
Nothing.
No, it's all
not
bad,
one.
Terrifying things so far here. So she is being, by the way, do you remember that fire back in 1990?
Yeah.
They're looking at that real hard now.
Yeah.
Because she's mad at her husband's ex-wife.
Hates ex-wives.
Yes. She threatened to kill her ex-husband's ex-wife. Never mind her current husband's ex-wife.
Is she like a succubus that sucks everybody's bad energy and then just delivers it outwardly? Is she mad at the ex for the current husband?
Yes. She's mad because that person was ever with her husband.
Right.
That's my husband,
so wild.
Not yours.
Yeah.
She's got that's a lot of problems.
How dare you have ever gotten hard for anybody else?
Luckily, we have a psychologist that's going to try to explain her in a little while. Good. A psychologist with the worst name in the history of medicine.
Terrific.
It's amazing. So she's being held for sentencing, obviously with no bail because Jesus Christ. So they said she's basically, the whole thing hinges, whether she's ever going to get parole or not, hinges on whether the court will take into account what this doctor says. That's all it is. During the sentencing, Jones, Maida's brother, niece, son, daughter-in-law all spoke there, saying how wonderful, they're all crying and saying how wonderful Maida is. The whole gallery was crying.
Right.
And she's sitting there going, oh, no, this is bad. I killed a nice person.
Yeah. Everybody in this room loved that person.
Damn it. Why couldn't I have killed like a kid diddler or something? Nobody would be doing this right now.
There'd be nobody here.
Maida's brother, Rudy Ring, by the way, Rudy Ringe, he spoke of the horror that the family faced on the day they learned that she disappeared, and then say that the tragedy had not ended then, and say it won't end if Sandra's ever be able to get out of prison. It'll just be screwed. He said, quote, I plead with you, Your Honor, to give a sentence of nothing less than life in prison without a possibility of parole for this murder. Please allow our grief and rage to end. So his daughter, Wendy, spoke on her own behalf and then read a statement from Maida's sister, Judy, who was followed up by Maida's son, David, who spoke mostly about his relationship with his mother and how it's all gone, and again asked for life without parole. Yeah. Then her daughter-in-law, Jennifer, said that she's made everybody cry, telling the judge of finding her young son lying under her baby daughter's crib a short time ago. I asked him what he was doing under there, and he told me it was his coffin because he had shot himself. Huh. And she said, you did that to my son. You took away a 6-year-old's grandmother. Freaked the kid out. Yeah. They showed all sorts of pictures of them all together, and she said she's never going to do any of this stuff ever again. I mean, everything. She said, how do I tell my daughter someday what happened to her grandma? Jeez. Why does she not have a grandma? Then she faces Sandra and said, I see you in my dreams. I see what you did to her. And screams at her. Then she asked the judge, please put her in prison for the rest of her mortal life and allow us to start remembering Maida Marie's life and forget her brutal death.
Yeah.
So, I mean, heart-wrenching, obviously. They bring in the shrink for the defense.
Before we get there, do you give that person that just did all do you give them the credit of I see you in my nightmares, or do you just say, after this, we forget about you, you piece of shit? You know what I mean?
Well, it depends on what you're going for.
Yeah,
if you're going to feel like you're tough or you're like you have put up your skin, then that's fine. But if you want them to be put in jail forever, you have to go on the stand and be vulnerable and say, this is what you've done to me.
Yeah, give them the
please put her away forever.
That part would suck.
Yeah. It does suck. You have to go up there and say that, but that's how they make you do it, so they know that this. I don't know why it matters. Whether the person, this is what I don't get about these. Whether she's a wonderful grandmother who everybody sobs over and was wonderful, or was just some piece of shit guy who ate Dinty-Moore out of a can and sat there, and it doesn't matter. What's the difference?
Shot her and took her fucking head off. It doesn't. And then fucking put it into the river, and then sailboated the rest of her down the creek. That's crazy.
Anybody that does that at all, I feel like we can. Yeah, we don't need to know who it's hurting or whatever.
I don't need to know who's
thing.
having nightmares. I don't need to know who sees it in every fucking shadow.
But
I don't need to hear about the cloud formations. Yeah, it doesn't matter.
It shouldn't matter. It should just be awful. So the doctor testifying.
Yeah.
Dr. Worst is his name. Not worst like liverwurst. It's WORST.
Well, why would you do it?
You want to know what his first name is, Jimmy? Better. It's better than that.
All right.
Dr. Richard Worst.
Dr. Dick Worst.
Dr. Dick Worst is his name. He's got the worst dick. Give me a Dick Worst sandwich. He's the worst. He's got the worst dick ever. He's the worst doctor. Dr. Dick, the worst.
In elementary school, it was worst dick.
Yeah, worst dick. He's got the worst. In the phone book back in the day, he'd be worst, dick. Dr. Dick W. Worst.
Oh, God, Jesus, doctor.
That is the worst fucking name ever, and he's this like round-headed, bald old guy. He looks like he's got a terrible dick.
God, it looks like he has
looks
the worst
terrible.
Dick.
Looks like his dick sucks, man.
Yeah.
So he specializes in psychiatry. He's one of only, at the time, 566 certified forensic psychiatrists in the United States at the time.
Really?
He calls Sandra Jonas a, quote, she has borderline personality. It's a borderline thing. He says that she fits the criteria of borderline personality disorder, a mental disorder that's extremely difficult to diagnose and work with because it's very complex. And it is. Yeah. It's a hard one to deal with. They said that he does say borderline personalities have very low homicide rates, but high suicide rates. Oh. They usually kill themselves before they kill others.
Is that right?
Is what he says. I don't. That's just, I'm not a one of the 566 certified forensic psychiatrists, so I don't know if that's true. But
another point is she certainly killed somebody, and she's still alive. So
there you go. He said in his opinion, he's convinced that Sandra, under the right programs, care, and medication, is rehabilitative. We can
fix it.
We can fix this. He told the court that the version of the incidents surrounding the murder that she related to him as he met with her for the evaluation following her arrest, the story differed greatly from the scenario constructed by the testimony of Andra. Mm-hmm. Okay, Andra, who assisted her. In his testimony, Dr. Wurst established that Sandra struggles with interpersonal relationships, drinks excessively, again, doesn't trust law enforcement or others, unhealthy inability to get rid of her father's, let go of her father's death, often carries a weapon, been known to shoot neighbors' animals, and made prior threats to everyone around her.
Dangerous.
Yes, dangerous person is what he said, but, totally fixable is what he...
I can correct all of it.
I'll fix it all. He said that Sandra has a, quote, pervasive, long-standing pattern of difficulties in interpersonal relationships. He said she dwells on incidents of rejection, loss, or victimization. Okay. Because of such fears, people become impulsive, self-defeating, and will sabotage relationships with those they love the most. He said she has a history of significant loss that goes with borderlines. To a large degree, she's never gotten over that. He said he maintained the loss of her father, with whom she was very close, had a tremendous influence on her need to provide herself with a father figure, which she had done with Milo. He said, so he plugged it right in. Yeah. He said, I think Milo in some ways did represent her father. Yeah, that makes sense. And he said, because of the borderline personality's ability to dissociate feelings, that's how she was able to cut a person's head off and not have a problem with it.
Because she's defending her own.
Because I guess so, in her mind. Yeah, this is justified in her mind. Yeah. It's like being at war. It's the same thing, justified.
Yeah, you're taking my father.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So, don't take my daddy. Like, whoa, hey, calm down. Wurst also says Jonas doesn't remember, according to her, doesn't remember feeling or thinking anything immediately after the crime, and that any self-reflection on her feelings is, quote, more like speculation than actual memory.
No, because her daughter said that it's no worse than killing a cat.
Yeah, she got in and went, no big deal. They'll never find her. Even if they do, they won't be able to identify her. No harder than killing cats. Let's go through the Dairy Queen now. What do you say? Like,
he's wrong.
It's wild. So according to Wurst, Jonas told him that both Sandra and Maida went for the gun that was lying on the table. Why would she take her gun out and put it on the table? Yeah, well, you keep it. No. If you're in an argument with someone, you keep the upper hand, especially her. She's in the Army. She knows not to put her gun down.
And she loves control.
That's the other thing. That's why she had the gun. She said the gun went off and she heard Jones fall. Went off, just, while they were struggling for it. She thinks she stooped down to take a look at Jones when she put her hands on her knees, and then the gun fired a second bullet.
Oh, it's sitting on the table? It went off twice?
It went off.
How
and this
hot
one
was
she
it in
said,
there?
yeah, a while. What's going on there? Just taking a look-see over. She also said that one went into her neck, which it's back of the head and cheek. So we know that's not true. The prosecuting attorney contended that nowhere in the video testimony with Andra did she admit her mother told her the shooting was accidental. She's never said that. She said it was easier than killing cats.
Right.
So Andra had maintained that her mother said she did it because, why'd you do it at that exact moment, though? I know it was easy. Why? Quote, because she pissed her off. The same thing with Arkansas last year. That's last week. Yeah, the girl killed her father. Same exact thing. He pissed me off. Just pissed me off.
Well, you can't do that.
That's not a good enough idea or good enough reason. So Andra had told Detective Chatterton that her mother told her after the incident, then she fired the second shot. She did that because Maida was making sounds. That's why she told her. So why'd you shoot her twice? She said, she wasn't fucking dead yet.
She was loud.
She was still struggling.
I like quiet.
I don't like all that gurgling.
Yeah.
They said no clothing or jewelry was found on Maida's naked torso when it was retrieved from the canal. Jones, they said that Sandra couldn't bring herself to touch the body, according to the psychiatrist. That's what she told him, and had to pull Jonas by her clothing, which resulted in inadvertently pulling her clothing off. She said, I didn't strip her. I pulled her down to the canal by her clothes, and they all just fell off while I was doing that. You know how clothes are.
She had them on real loose like, so they were just, she shed like a snake.
Did I mention they're all tearaway? She strips in the evening, so she has all tearaway clothes.
Yeah,
they pull right off of her. Well, her daughter watched her not only strip her nude, but then saw her head off her nude body.
Head off.
So she's full of shit here.
Mm-hmm.
The prosecutor asked the doctor here if it didn't make sense to distance oneself from the body by pushing it into the river. And he said it would be much easier to roll or kick a body into the river than to try to pull it by the clothes.
Right.
Yeah. So the doctor went on to say, because Milo Ross served as a father figure, Sandra reacted to that, and that's what happened. He said she could be rehabilitated over time as long as Milo was out of the picture.
Right.
Because she's always going to have this obsession with him. But she'll find someone else to be obsessed with. That's the thing. It doesn't matter. She would threaten to kill the ex-husband and his ex-wife.
She's got kids with Milo, so he's never out of the picture.
Yeah. And she may or may not have burned a woman's fucking house down and killed people. We don't know. The cops are still like, we don't have any evidence because they didn't do a full investigation at the time, but we're terrified of that.
Right.
Like, that seems right up her alley.
Far too easy.
Yeah, they also asked the doctor if he thought that Sandra would be a risk to hurt someone again if she had a gun. And Worst replied, I don't think so. Let's give her 5 guns. Fuck it. What do you want, an AR, sweetheart? Let's get you something big.
How much was he paid to say this shit?
Holy shit. He said, quote, I was impressed with the fact that she carried a gun for 20 years and hadn't used it. Well, yeah, that's great. Terrific. Wow. Worst said that gradual treatment of Jonas's drinking problem and mental disorders would rehabilitate Jonas and that the process would have to be done very carefully. He said, we wouldn't let her out until we saw her compliance with treatment and her response. Worst said, although he admitted, we don't get absolute assurance she'll never touch alcohol again. Exactly.
How do we ever know? Right.
Then he laid down the hammer, though, because he's under oath, so he says this. It was brought out during testimony that while she was doing these evaluations with him, she said about her son, Paul, this is gross, that she would rather see her son with a bullet in his head than have him serve a 2-year mission for that church.
She would kill that boy.
She'd rather him be dead than do that, which means, who knows?
That's the other thing, though, is that's not for you to decide.
Yep. So
that's his life.
They're asking for parole possibilities. Prosecution's asking for no parole. So the judge, he's going to weigh in, and let's find out what he says. He's got a little bit of a speech, so this will be good. I love a good you, ma'am, here. So Sandra Jones has been presented to this court as a woman with a borderline personality disorder. The essential feature of borderline personality disorder is a pervasive pattern of instability of interpersonal relationships, self-image, and affect marked by an impulsivity that begins by early adulthood and is present in a variety of contexts. Probation, in my opinion, is not an option. I'm nervous about parole. In other words, you can't just let her go, and I'm even nervous about parole. It is clear as a matter of sentencing policy in Idaho that the primary consideration is the good order and protection of society, and all other factors must be subservient to that end. I think she is presently dangerous. I think she needs treatment. I think her personality type functions best in a structured environment, like the Army.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? This is a homicide. It carries the second greatest punishment the law allows, which is life in prison. A lesser sentence would depreciate the seriousness of the defendant's crime, is what's said. Her punishment must fit the crime. Imprisonment is needed to deter her from doing this again. She has killed an individual, in my opinion, with little or no provocation. None.
Yeah,
Zero. Maida never even talked to her.
Right.
No provocation. I feel that the slap on the wrist for the murder might encourage homicides. Well, yeah, if you don't, you can't just go, well, it's fine to kill people. You were a little upset. And you were drinking? Jesus. Yeah, I understand. Totally.
We're going to go light on this since it's the first offense.
How often are people angry and drunk? Imagine if they were just allowed to kill people because of those factors. There'd be nobody left. It'd be bedlam out there. So he said, you never know how many lives are saved because punishments are harsh. The punishment for such serious crimes need to be equally serious. I find little or at least no provocation for the life-ending projectile shot from the gun of Sandra Jones. I do not find that Ms. Jones's conduct induced or facilitated the commission of this crime. She didn't bring it on herself. You know, she wasn't going out fucking in front of a Hell's Angel bar going, you fucking pussies, giving them double fingers, kicking their line of motorcycles over or anything. She wasn't asking for shit. So Although she's expressed statements that she is sorry and wished this would have never happened, she also expressed statements that Maida Jones pissed her off and that somehow killing her in some way compares to killing cats. Coming back to haunt her. She needs significant time for such treatment, and even then her rehabilitation is not assured. We are told that even if she makes significant gains in the state penitentiary, upon her release, alcohol abuse can interfere and even destroy those gains.
Oh, yeah.
We are also told that a person with borderline personality disorders resists alcohol abuse therapy. Is this a gamble that I'm willing to take on behalf of society? No.
Hell no.
You, ma'am,
Yeah.
may fuck off, life in prison, without the possibility of parole for 25 years.
Okay.
So at least 25 in
Yeah.
prison.
Okay.
At least 25.
guaranteed.
25 guaranteed, then she can get parole after that. So
good.
at least a hard 25.
Yeah.
Okay. Andra, her sentencing.
Oh, God.
She accepts a plea deal, like we said. She pleads guilty to as a juvenile to accessory to murder. They let her plead as a juvenile, which is a huge deal as well. Huge deal. That means it'll be, sealed and all that shit. It won't count against her. But she also, they're trying to get her out, basically. They don't want her to be in jail because she got sentenced to some jail time, but they're trying to fight it. She's out on bail while they're fighting it here. And attorneys and the judge hashed out the details of this agreement here. Her father is in court with her. Milo's standing next to her, holding her hand. And he tells the judge that he and his family are willing to do whatever it takes to keep Andra out of prison, basically. On track, out of trouble. I'll sit with her in class and then drive her home if I have to. I'll do anything I have to do. So she is standing there. She's crying. The prosecutors said they're willing to accept a 180-day sentence, but with all but 30 days suspended. So just a month and credit for time served as well.
Oh, that's nice.
So they sentence her. She is now, this will allow a psychologist. Basically, they move her to a full security section of the juvenile detention center to do a 2-week assessment from a psychologist before they officially do the whole thing, just to make sure that she will be ready to move back with her family and go to school and be okay with that. Her friends, they talked to a bunch of her friends, the newspaper does, and they said, her one friend said they still have on the technology building is all the unfinished pieces of her coffee table. They saved it for her.
Wow.
They said it's her senior project and it's left over and they want her to come back and do it. Her class
all warped.
It's going to be all fucked up now. It's going to be all fucked out. So, yeah, they tell one teacher said, quote, I would take her back in class in a heartbeat. That's her woodshop teacher.
Fault.
He says he thinks 99% of the students at every high school are good kids who will one day grow up to be good adults, and he thought that Ross Andra was definitely one of those 99% of good kids. They said the principal, Dan Rogers, said, we never took her off the school roll. We kept her registered, and we would welcome her back anytime she's done.
She's going to be a 19th year senior.
Yeah, he said she's got some good friends here. She said when he heard how quickly she could be released, he said he was surprised but happy to have her back. And the shop teacher said, quote, she has a coffee table to finish.
Yeah.
So I mean, yeah. So they decide that out of all this, she's going to plead guilty. She's going to get time served.
Wow.
And she's released on supervised probation.
Terrific.
So she gets to go back and have a life. It's not her fault. Sometimes people get their kids involved and their kid's like, hey, let's cut her head off or something. But this poor kid didn't know what she was doing.
Sounds like she's screaming, let's not do this the whole time.
Yeah. Absolutely. The fucked up part is when they interview Paul.
Yeah.
Paul said, you don't know our mother and you don't know how she is. I would have done it too, he said.
Oh, wow.
He said, "This. I don't blame my sister because if I was in that situation, I would have done the same thing. I would have fucking listened to my mother because I would have been terrified she would shoot me otherwise.
Right, because who knows what Mom will do to me.
Yeah,
she just said that she'd rather see me dead than on a mission in England.
And she's threatened to kill everyone in the family before. And
she just killed this lady.
And she just killed this. What she got to lose? Two bodies in the canal? Fuck it. So 1 year after the murder, Milo Ross speaks finally. He had been quiet this whole time. This is wild. You're not going to believe some of this shit.
He forgives her.
It's less than a year later. He's living in the house still.
What?
With his new wife.
What?
He somehow found and married a woman while taking his kid to court.
Yeah.
Going to do all this shit. How the fuck did he have time to find court and get engaged to and marry a woman in this time period? How did he do
understand. This man detaches better than anybody I've ever heard of.
As soon as their relationship is on the rocks, he is finding another one, boy. Plugging it right. That's incredible.
That man
good
has
for him.
won at therapy. Whatever he's doing, he's thriving.
Hey, good for him. He didn't do anything to cause Maida to be killed, so he's just trying to find somebody to move on with. But
he heals like a
away.
starfish. Jesus.
Fucking Milo, man. Wow. Guy is a pimp. So he's a bad motherfucker.
Yeah.
So he said that he still lives in the house, and so does Andra. Everybody.
What?
Yep, she lives there too. He said, quote, I wasn't going to run away from it. Said he wasn't going to run away from the place that this happened at. You could buy a new house, though. Just sell that house, get a different one.
There's a difference between running away and not particularly wanting to be where your loved one lost their life.
You want to walk by the fucking wall where the bullet hole was every time and be like, that's where the bullet went through my wife's head and took her brains out, went into my wall. I don't want to see that every fucking time.
Although our Bud Dwyer gunshot hole is still there.
That's true, but that's nobody's mother, I guess.
No,
the kids don't have to look through it.
Somebody's
father, but they don't work at the building. They don't live in the building. Fucking crazy. So he said, he wasn't going to run away. He remarried. He remarried, by the way, very quickly.
Yeah.
Extremely quickly. He was married.
Happening?
That was in October. He was married by the summer.
Wow.
He was married within 8 months.
That's a man that hates dry dick. Hates
it. That's what I mean. He's got to get it and get married so he can get fucking. He is a horny Mormon.
This thing's got to get wet and sticky.
It has to.
Take it.
He's willing to marry you. That's the thing. He's not trying to scam anybody.
He'll
put a ring on your finger. Don't you worry about that.
Somebody else might cut it off, but I'll put it on there.
Wow. He says that his daughter has completed probation now, and she still suffers mentally and physically, though, from the whole thing.
Yeah.
And he says when he prays, he keeps Maida in his prayers. He said, I know there is no reason you can ask why. What happened? What happened? All I can do is go on. Is that a haiku? Sounds like a haiku. I think it's a haiku.
That man hates a dry dick.
So it's after this where Sandra changes her mind. Maybe I don't want to plead guilty.
Oh?
Maybe I changed my mind. Pleading guilty seems like an awful...
Take it to trial?
She said, I'm going to withdraw my guilty plea, okay? Yeah. Let's do that. And the judge said, you can't do that.
God,
you already sentenced your dumb ass. You're done. She sat in prison going, well, this sucks.
Can I try to get out? No.
Decided to do a different thing here. So she does all of that. She wants a reduced sentence also.
Oh, it really sucks in there.
Now she wants a reduced sentence. She's like, 25 is too long. It should be like 10 or 15. Yeah. So she's in jail less than 2 years, and she's already trying to get a reduced sentence.
Hilarious.
Her public defender, Marilyn Paul, said that she's made good use of her time since being incarcerated. Yeah. Oh, well, let's let her out then. I'm sure she's great. They told the judge here that Jonas has completed an initial computer course and got an A in it.
Oh, that's great.
She'd like to pursue a drafting career. Terrific.
Ha.
You got about 23 more years to work on that, and then you can really be good at it by the time you get out.
And be an architect.
You'll be great at it by the time you got out. It said she's currently taking several classes and getting good grades in all of them. Well, that's great. If she was 12, we'd be really excited.
Keep going. You'll have a 25-year degree in it by the time you get out.
Wow, you're going to have 8 degrees. That's a lot. You can get a bunch in there. The public defender also said that with all the testing and sessions with psychologists that Sandra went through for sentencing, it'd be much easier now to monitor her emotional and mental problems with the right medications and regular doctor visits.
It's better to monitor her the way she is. We can look right through the bars and see where she is.
Let's give her another shot. You know what? I want to roll the dice on this one. Let's roll the dice on them. I have a good feeling about this. I have a feeling, even though she's threatened everyone that's ever been near her, including her mother and children, I feel like she's going to clean it right up. I got a good feeling about this. So the prosecutor steps in with some sanity and says, quote, this case involved murder and mutilation of a helpless victim. Even worse, she involved her teenage daughter.
Right.
The effect this case has had on Medgar Marie Jones' family and friends is like the effect you'd get by throwing a rock into a pond. The violence has such a rippling effect on the family, a lifelong effect. This is one of the most heinous murders we've ever seen. I certainly ask the court not to alter sentence in any way, shape, or form.
Why are we even talking about this?
This is ridiculous. And the judge says, yeah, that's a much better argument.
Great point. Really
she got an
point.
A in her drafting class. She cut a person's head off.
We can keep an eye on her through the bars.
So then she's being sued by Milo for restitution for fucking up his house and killing his fiance.
Yeah.
For real. He requested over $12,500 in restitution.
Yeah.
But according to her lawyer, the only amount of restitution that should be owed to Milo is $271.94 for materials used for repairs to the home where the crime occurred. They patched up the drywall and fixed the phone, so that's all you need.
Okay.
Whoa. They said there's no specific documentation introduced for the other claims, and aside from physical repairs to the house, Ross is not a victim, they say. They killed his fiance in his house and made his teenage daughter fucking clean it up. He's not a victim.
Not a
He's
victim
fine.
at all.
Nope.
He'll be fine.
Wow. That's wild. Ross had asked for restitution to cover medical bills incurred by Andra Ross, daughter's medical bills, and following the incident. And for $2,000, it cost him to attain an attorney to represent him and his son Paul when Shirley's attorney wanted to talk to them. Mm-hmm. He had to have an attorney too. Paul, the son, or no, that's also the last name of her lawyer, Paul. Uh-huh. Paul said that Ross initiated the claims for treatment for his daughter and the attorney's bill, and he said, we don't believe Ross is entitled to recover that amount. She also said the daughter, Andra Ross, is not a victim. In fact, she was charged in the murder.
She's an accomplice, not a victim.
Yeah, that's wild. Over $1,000 in medical bills incurred by Jerome County while Jonas Sandra was in custody should not be included in the restitution, they said also, and that Jerome County is not a victim in this matter, and there are civil avenues for the county to pursue its claims. The county is also requesting repayment of over $50,000 in defense fees.
Wow. Lawyers are such dicks, man.
Wow. Well, that's the county that's doing that. The lawyer Paul said it's also inappropriate to include these in restitution. The prosecutor said there are several claims that Milo Ross could have included for his request, including engagement ring, which he bought for Jones just days before she was murdered, that she stole and broke. Could have put that in there. And they said that Ross was too humble to ask for that, though.
He's doing you a solid by only asking for 12. Just cough it up.
Fucking give him his money. He also said that Sandra is still racking up defense costs and none of them are included in that restitution amount. Quote, she's getting a good deal no matter how you look at it, is what the prosecutor said. That's fucking hilarious. He said if there's anything should happen today, the court should increase the restitution to Milo Ross. He's a victim. The crime happened in his house to his fiance.
Yeah.
That's a fucking victim here. So they said the final defense bill, it comes out in the end, her restitution she has to pay for her defense will probably be paid off by the State Association of Counties. Oh. In the end, it will be less than $100 that Sandra has to pay herself.
Wow.
Less than $100. The association is in charge of the Idaho Capital Crimes Defense Program, a pool of money set up to help counties cover the cost of defending suspects facing the death penalty. Because if you're going to have those, you have to have a way for them to. You have to be able to. Totally. So they said the board is charged with overseeing the defense fund, and they're going to approve this payment. So there you go. 2005, Paul, the son Paul, how's he doing? I mean,
this is England.
His mother's, now 2005, he's getting married. Big announcement in the paper. He's got a pretty wife here. He married a woman named Amanda. They're announcing their engagement. They're very excited. Ross graduated from high school, went to England for the mission, then received a bachelor's degree in law and constitutional studies from USU. He works for Senator Smith of Oregon in Washington, D.C., and intends to earn a Juris Doctorate from the University of Virginia Law School.
Wow.
They're gonna live in D.C., where he will work while she attends school in Baltimore. Then they're going to move to Charlottesville. Hopefully, not march anywhere.
Careful,
So they said they're going to do that where he's going to attend law school.
Kid's going to be a lawyer.
He is nowadays a bankruptcy and criminal attorney.
Look at
And
that.
there's a LinkedIn for him here. It says founding lawyer. I'll give you his stats because he went through some shit. Founding lawyer Paul N.J. Ross has dedicated his legal career to helping individuals throughout southern Idaho find effective debt relief through Chapters 7, 11, 12, and 13 bankruptcies. He gained bankruptcy law experience in Oklahoma, where he practiced under limited license while attending law school. Since that time, he's been admitted to the Idaho State Bar and the Utah State Bar. He practices in Idaho and Utah state courts. He's doing fucking great.
Yeah. He's a founding partner? Is that what he is?
Something, yeah, of somebody here. He's got that. He's a member of the American Bankruptcy Institute, National Association of Consumer Bankruptcy Attorneys, and involved in various community organizations, including the Boy Scouts of America.
Doing
He's one.
great.
They're all in there. Mm-hmm. So, December 2017. Sandra files a petition to vacate her conviction. Yeah, let's just start over. I feel like
Sandra.
let's start over. This is ridiculous. So she does. She actually says, that she wants to vacate the conviction and sentence. It's entered in an underlying criminal matter for the return of certain property. Okay. Yeah. The court treated the petition as a petition for post-conviction relief and notified the petitioner that she failed to meet the requirements of Idaho. Because the matter was not being treated as an action in post-conviction relief, but rather a separate civil claim against the state of Idaho, she was not entitled to appointment of counsel, was required to pay filing fees, which she had not done, and properly serve the state, which she also hasn't done. Okay. She's trying to sue the state for the restitution thing in a civil way, in civil court. She can't. You can only get a lawyer for criminal proceedings on this.
Oh,
you
so
can't.
she'd have to pay for her own lawyer.
Yeah, right. You can't get a free lawyer to sue people.
Right, especially not the fucking state.
And she has to pay the filing fee. She has to pay to have a person served, which is, I used to do that. You got to pay a process server. Sure. Someone has to put gas in their car and drive to someone's house and hand them a fucking piece of paper and all that. So for those reasons, the district court denied her motion for appointment of counsel, denied default, and dismissed her petition and told her to keep on fucking on, miss. Get out of here. Paul, by the way, there's a thing online where Paul visited his would-be stepmother's grave. And he's a good kid, this Paul. And Andrew, they both seem okay. I don't know about her now, but Paul seems like a real nice kid. He said, I recently took a trip to American Falls for work. After I completed the appointment, I stopped at the American Falls Cemetery to pay my respects. Maida was born 2nd of July, 1952 in American Falls, Power, Idaho, and died 25th October, 1998 near Kasota, Jerome, Idaho. 17 years ago today, my mother, Sandy Jonas, took the life of Maida Marie Rigg Rupp Jones. That day obviously changed Maida's life, but it also changed the lives of everyone else even distantly linked. I dare not say how different life would be if Mom had not taken those actions. I frankly have no idea how life would be. I can only imagine. Some would likely be very welcome, others likely not. I am not the judge in the eternal scheme. I'm not God, is what he said there. I do not know the outcome. All I know is that events come in life that rock us to the core. This was one such occasion for many people. The ripples likely flow throughout eternity, positive and negative. That's
what a
ballsy
guy.
to go.
Yeah.
What a nice guy to go there and go, yeah, my mother's did this and it was wrong, and I wish she wouldn't have. So then she appeals her dismissal of her post. Now she's got post-conviction shit as well.
Yeah.
And she argues that the state was required to specifically identify each of her claims and give reasons why each should be summarily dismissed in her last appeal. And they said, no, we did plenty for you.
Had enough.
Listen, yeah. They said that we consider Jonas's argument that she raised genuine issues of material fact, that she received ineffective assistance of counsel, and that her guilty plea was involuntary. What she's saying here is that she got blindsided by her attorney, who just showed up and was shoving life sentence without parole in her face, saying, you got to do it or you're going to get the death penalty. Right. And she didn't know what to do, and therefore he's ineffective assistance of counsel. Meanwhile, he told her the facts.
And not for nothing, but that's true. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You got to take something because you're going to die. You did this and you got a witness.
It sounds bad. She's going to get up on the stand and describe watching you saw a woman's head off. Do you think that'll make the jury okay?
Daughter.
Yes. And then this other lady's a nice lady with everyone in town's going to say what a great lady she is. What do you think they're going to do to you?
You have no chance.
Fucking no chance at all. So they said that The defendant was convicted upon a guilty plea. To satisfy the prejudice element, the claimant must show that there's a reasonable probability that, but for counsel's errors, he or she would not have pled guilty and would have instead insisted on going to trial. So they said that didn't happen at all. This court long adhered to the proposition that tactical or strategic decisions of the trial counsel will not be second-guessed on appeal unless those decisions are based on inadequate preparation, ignorance of relevant law, or other shortcomings capable of objective evaluation. In other words, if a lawyer makes a decision that doesn't pan out, that's a strategy, you can't say they're ineffective for that. Only if they didn't know, they forgot to file something, they didn't know what to file, they filed the wrong thing, they argued against the law, something that didn't work out. But you can't just say that, I didn't like the strategy they took, because you could have got them to do a different strategy otherwise. It's your case. You can ask the judge to make them do what you want them to do. Right. Literally. Otherwise, the judge doesn't want a lawyer getting fired midstream. So if you tell the judge they're not doing what I want, they'll take you in chambers and say you got to listen to your client. Yeah. That's what happens. So she is currently incarcerated at the Idaho's Pocatello Women's Correctional Center. Wow. She is 66 years old.
What?
And you know when she'll be eligible for parole, Jimmy?
20 next year.
November of this year. About 3 months from now.
Oh, my God. No
about
way
3 months from now. I bet she does.
66, she's getting out, yeah.
She did 25 hard. She's going to go in there saying she loves Jesus and wants to do drafting, and they're going to fucking let her out.
66, and they're going to let her go.
She's going to come in there cross-stitching something, like doing some knitting or something. Like, I'm just a grandma. I wouldn't put anything past her. I wouldn't put. I'll definitely keep an eye on her. She could be
That's
later
a dangerous
on.
Woman.
She's dangerous. So now the detective, by the way, Chatterton. Remember I said I'd bring him back up. Yeah. I still want to know if she killed fucking Vicky's family too.
That'd be great to know.
I'd love to know that. The cops said they'd love to know too. Yeah. This police detective files claims against the sheriff department, the sheriff's department, the county, all these people here. Daniel Chatterton is seeking $823,730 in what he contends are lost wages, benefits, promotions, and other damages.
What does that mean? What'd they do?
What's that, like 40 years of being a cop or something? That's a long time.
Why do they hate you?
According to state law, a county or other agency has 90 days to either approve or deny a claim. They said Chatterton's tort claim names as defendants Jerome County Sheriff Jim Weaver, the Jerome County Commission and its members, as well as Jerome City Council and its members, and also named the Jerome City Manager and everyone in Jerome. Yeah. It claims, based on the contention, that in 2000, Johnson in 2000, who is one of those people in there, the county commissioner, I think here, that made an unfounded allegation against Chatterton, and that Weaver and others named, promoted, and investigated that allegation until July of this year. Chatterton was an investigator, blah, blah, blah. So, they're basically saying he got hung up on some shit. They said that messages for Weaver, Chatterton was a Twins Falls police officer in 92 when Roland Galvin of Twins Falls accused Chatterton of using excessive force while arresting him, but a jury later cleared Chatterton of any wrongdoing. Citing harassment and isolation by his superiors and others at the department in the wake of that case, he later sued the department in the city of Twin Falls. It was settled for $35,000. He went to work for the Jerome County Sheriff's Department in 93. That was where he was working.
Right.
When this case happened, and was involved in some high-profile cases. They name off Meta Marie here, and so he's trying to recover some lost money. And that, everybody, is Hazelton, Idaho.
My God, what a
crazy fucking story.
What the fuck?
That woman, wow. I mean, that's one of those 66 or not.
That's the most dangerous woman on the planet.
She's dangerous. There's a lot of people that we talk about where we're like, I don't care if they're 80. I don't want this person out. And she's one of them where I feel like she's good right where she is.
They're usually men.
They are most of the time. Yeah, they're always men that are. She's
as dangerous as any dude with horns and dermal piercings and elfin ears. She is a dangerous man.
I'd like to hear from the turkey. From the turkey gallery out there, what you guys think. Gobble this shit up a little bit and tell us what's up, because I am scared shitless of this woman. You don't get women who like. That's like the snapping of like a
She holds a grudge. That's not even snapping.
For years.
Yeah.
That's what I mean. She held a grudge for years. She threatened to kill her ex-husband's ex-wife after they were divorced and everyone was divorced. That's wild. While
She's
she was
a
married
dangerous
to someone
man,
else.
for sure. Yeah.
That is terrifying. So, Jesus Christ, if you have any ideas about this, or you just like the show and you want to do something good for us, do something, do this. It's free, it's easy, takes 30 seconds. You sign into your app and you do it. Give us a review, leave a review, whatever app you're listening on, Audible, Apple Podcasts, this one, that one. Leave 5 stars. Even just say, gobble, gobble, turkey's here. Just leave a weird turkey call. That'd be great. Just let us know that the turkeys are out there. And do that. It helps drive the show up the charts. It helps immensely. So thank you when you do that. It really does. Also, you certainly want to head over to shutupandgivememurder.com for several reasons. First of all, tickets to regular live shows, September 8th in Atlanta, September 9th in Charlotte. We got a show in Philly with a couple tickets left, I believe, in October. And then we are in Dallas on December 2nd, some tickets left there. Everything else is sold out, so get in and get your tickets right now. Those are available right now. And September 1st, tickets for the Halloween virtual live show are coming. We're so excited. We did one last year, and it was a huge, everyone loved it because we put costumes on, and we're going to do a crazy Halloween-type story. So come party with us again. It'll be available for that whole week. Tickets go on sale September 1st.
Yeah.
So get them. They're coming out very soon here. You just go to shutupandgivememurder.com/virtual live, and you can find it on there. And we're very excited for that. We can't wait. And another exciting announcement.
Yeah?
Your stupid opinions will be public to everyone and able to listen to. It's coming out September 18th.
Can't wait.
Monday morning. We can't wait. We're going to do it every Monday morning. We're very excited to put it out. Your Stupid Opinions, where we're going to talk about reviews of everything, place, person you can imagine.
It's about goddamn time.
And listen to crazy people rant just into a fucking vacuum and no one cares. Ranting into a void. No one gives a shit. So do that. You also certainly want to be a Patreon member. That's big time. Patreon.com/crime in sports is where you get all of your bonus episodes. And you go, what the hell's Crime in Sports? That's our other podcast that you should also be listening to. We started that before we even started Small Town Murder. Yeah. And it's crazy. You don't have to like sports. You just have to like comedy. And check it out. So check out Crime in Sports. It's about idiot criminal athletes. Patreon.com/crime in sports is where you get all the bonus materials. Whole big back catalog to listen to. It's $5 a month. Anybody $5 a month or above, you can get a cup of coffee or tons of shit to listen to. I'm talking 200 plus bonus episodes to catch up on and binge on, only available on Patreon. And then new ones every other week. We keep coming with these. And this week is no different. What you're going to get is for Crime in Sports, which you'll have access to. We're going to talk about famous people who like to do celebrity boxing for some reason. And celebrity fights, and with the whole thing with the two, the fucking two social media guys, I'm not even going to mention their names, fucking wanting to say they're going to go back and forth. Like, who started all this shit? So
that was a long
we'll
time
talk
ago.
About some history, some dumbness, and some idiocy, and maybe we'll dip a little into like foxy boxing and that weird shit too. Put chicks in bikinis and big giant boxing gloves in there and beat each other up. That's weird too.
Let's watch
people that don't fighting. And then for Small Town Murder, a very weird one, but trust me, one you want to hear. Victorian household dangers.
Great.
These are late 1800s things that would kill you in your own house, including everything that you owned had strychnine in it that you're supposed to ingest. Not only that, but there was a major problem with tons of people exploding in their bathrooms. Literally. Explosive Victorian bathrooms we're going to talk about. You think you have diarrhea? Wait till you hear about these bathrooms. Let me tell you, that's explosive. Yeah. We'll talk about all that and more. Patreon.com/crime in sports. Follow us on social media as well. We are at Small Town Murder on Instagram and Threads, at Murder Small on Twitter, at Small Town Pod on Facebook. So get in there. Follow us all over the place. Get your updates. Keep that coming. And definitely get ready for your shout-outs because, Jimmy, hit me with the names of the people who would never hold a grudge long after we were all divorced and remarried again. Hit me with those names right fucking now.
This week's executive producers are Lily Cussins, Brianna Vandemark, Kyle Norweg. Thanks, Kyle. Jewel Sherrington. Congratulations on being engaged, Jewel. Lisa knew.
Look at you.
Lisa knew she'd marry that fucker. That's what she said.
Okay,
Lisa said
congrats.
It. She called it. Good for you, Lisa. Mario DiCiccio, Susanna
She said
Platt.
that about 14 other guys first, though. And then Lisa don't know shit. So.
Don't tell him. Brad Sewell, happy birthday, Brad. Good for you.
Happy birthday.
Other producers this week are Ogie Oglethorpe and Clarence Screaming of Buffalo Swamptown.
Some slapshot shit.
That's them. She eats pussy.
She eats pussy. Well, you feel shame, and then you get free. Sorry, go ahead.
Thomas Smith, Peyton Meadows, Amanda Buchenshine, Rabbi Shmulevich, and his new tricycle, Norman Bunce, Mutt, and Jeff. That's a cartoon, right?
It's an old cartoon,
yeah, I remember that
cartoon
Mikey
fair.
In Connecticut. Mikey, good for you, buddy.
Mikey.
Stick with it. Oh. Ian Elliott, Dale Crawford, Josh Grande, yep. Jeff
Big old Josh.
Jeff Paget, Elvira S., Chris DeWaters, Candace Ewart, Braden Phillips, Rosemary Golier, I don't know, Danielle Shepard, Holy T. Hello, T-Rex. All right. Braden with no last name. Michael Andronowitz. All right. Sharon Sherrod Allen, Glenn Walters, Dr. Joshua C. Poole, Joanne Kent, Alice C., Chris Watney, yep. Ashley Palmer, Brandy with no last name, Laura Layson, it's Layson, Zach Tate, Kevin Rosenberger, Moisty McMoistface, Charlene Palmer, Dr. Vader, Laura Black, Jackson Maddox, Jacob Barnes, Heather Montague, yep. What was the other one? Montagues and what? Plagues? What were they? I don't know. All right. It's from fucking Shakespeare, isn't it? Montague?
Monty and Capulets.
Preston Redden, Jennifer Randall, Joshua Fields, Josh Shackelford, Jess with no last name, Haley Wilson, Jason Gully, Shanna with no last name, Tamika Pendergraft, Dalton Stonky, all right, Christy Milden, Caitlin Larson, Althea Wunderler, Selby, Jay Cargie, Cargily, 1974, Astros, 1722, Jennifer Johnson, Emmett Hortath, Alicia Mason, Brandon Lung maybe, Tatum Thompson, Rachel, Bianucci, Leslie, it's like it feels like the song that what's this fuck saying. You know what I'm talking about? Fucking David Cross. Feels like a word. Bianucci. Leslie Dorn. Adam
Christ.
God damn it. Adam Kane, Brenda Brockway, Kate with no last name, Fran Dingle, Heidi Gager, Daisy G, John Fisher, Carson with no last name, Don Garrison, Sia Kenyon, Shanna Wright, Josh Green, Jason Green, God damn it, Claire McMahon, Brian Papa Grub, Jenna Lemke, Christy, I was on a roll, Christina Marrero.
You had it, Jimmy.
Lindy Devonte, Quentin McElroy. Nope, that's Elmer. It's Quentin Elmore. Kay Reynolds, Rivas, John Manek, Trent Johnston, James Lowe, Amy Kime, Jessica Willows, Tristan Donovan, Catherine Stain, Kelsey Simmons, Megan Thompson, Victoria McKenzie, Logan Rash, Jennifer Tessier, Jeremy McDonald, Garrett, Kemlaus? There's no way.
Fuck.
Sorry, Garrett. Lori Hill, Melanie with last name, David DeCant, Amanda Grace, Kristen.
No, he can. David DeCan. He absolutely can.
You certainly can.
I believe in you, David.
Kristen Rummery, Becca Yeamans, Katie Meyer Dager, Carla Dawson, Kristen Castro, Mary Almquist, Dixon Kuntz, are you proud of yourself, you dirty fuck? Daniel Carlson, Shake probably. DeGaussy, that's probably a fucking typo, I apologize. Jessica Wright, Matthew Lindley, nobody's named Shake, right? Maybe there is. Brandon Legacy, Big Ben never touched those women. You're out of your fucking mind. Where there's smoke, there's fire. Mike with no last name, Nisha G, Daniel 23, Perry Johnson, Amelia Kelly, Rachel Mark, Felicia, Dave's sister from another mother.
Oh.
All right. Liam Curtis Moore, Madison, Consolado. It's got to be Consolado.
Italian names, the death of Jimmie.
Fucking ridiculous. Lisbeth, nice. Maybe a little bit. Kristen Canera, Jay Mans, Cassidy Rondell, Mowell, Mooley? Oh, can't say that.
No,
Mitchell.
it's definitely not
Mr.
that,
Mitchell. Mrs.
Yeah.
Mitchell? I don't know. I want to die. Linda.
Jimmie.
Mouli. What is that?
I get it. I get why you said it. I know. You showed it to, but I'm like, oh, no.
Sue Saddlemeyer. All right. Jack with no last name. Colleen with no last name. Hope A. Stacy Turner. Delphor. Mauli. Delphor with no last name. Taylor Howard. Marcus Gines. Nicole Slokin, I think so. Carrie Anderson. Tessa Rodriguez. Drake, the only one. There's several of you. Sarah Terry, Allie Ann, Dennis Quinn, Gretchen Stahl, Xavier Reed, Christina Lamb, Shelley Radecki, Robert Nelson, Elias Nipples. What? All right. Kyle O'Rourke, Nathan Thompson, Cassandra Lee, SCRBMK11. No way except for spelling it. Yeah. Lindsay Carr, Crystal Munoz, Topher Fisher, Thomas Crisp, Kayleen G, Ed Carrick, Brenda Davey, Dan Jeter, Michelle with no last name, Catherine with no last name, Tommy, nope, that's Tanya, Gulling maybe, Alexis Stinson, Amy Kimbrough, Sean O'Leary, Cynthia Kramer, Stephen Watts, Emma with no last name, Jennifer Buell, Waylon with no last name, Maslin Mueller, Matthew McDonnell, Cassandra with no last name, Joshua Wayne Warren, Sarah Taylor, Maddie Lee, Joe Smith, Rebecca Nicole, Charla Lindsay, Emily with no last name, William Smalley, Tara Claghorn, Jeff Niffer, Alexandra Chico maybe, Space Mouse, Mara Fields, Luke Bazovsky, Mike Powell, Tessa, Reza, no fucking way, Reza Muyal. Oh, I'm not saying that.
You almost said it again, Joe.
Not doing it.
Good God.
The bait is there. The trap is set. Carissa Rowell, I think. Maureen Marshall, Tyler Hartwig. How are there 2 and 1? Raquel with no last name. Scott Houts. Brady with no last name. Bonnie Gadiant. Barb Wiley. Tim Varela. Heather Rabachow. Steer 86. Regina Gar. Ellen McCormick. Terry Hunter, Aaron Berthold, Sarah George, Patrick Pickett, Victoria with no last name, Makash with no last name, Tracy Bartkowski, Jamie with no last name, Kristen Emerson, Aaron Johnson, Kevin DeMater, Amy D with no last name, just the letter D, Lynn Stadler, Samantha with no last name, Jessica Richards, Matthew Anderson, Jackie Butler, and every fucking patron of this show. You're incredible. Thank you.
Thank you so much, everybody. From the bottom of our hearts, we goddamn appreciate what you do for us every day, and we just can't thank you enough. So thank you for hanging with us. Thank you for listening to the bonus stuff. Thanks for telling your friends about it, and we appreciate the shit out of you. I'll tell you that right now. You want to follow us on social media? Real easy to do that. Just head over to shutupandgivememurder.com, hit the menu. There's links to follow us on whatever, and you can follow us and keep finding us and keep coming back. And until next week, you turkeys, it's been our pleasure.
Bye.
If you like Small Town Murder, you can listen early and ad-free now by joining Wondery Plus in the Wondery app or on Apple Podcasts. Prime members can listen early and ad-free on Amazon Music. Before you go, tell us about yourself by filling out a short survey at Wondery.com/survey.
It takes one guy out there to say, who's that Kyle who thinks he can just get on a microphone on a podcast and start publicizing this?
From iHeart Podcasts and Tenderfoot TV comes a new true crime podcast, Crook County.
I got recruited into the mob when I was 17 years old.
Meet Kenny, an enforcer for the legendary Chicago outfit.
And that was my mission, to snuff the life out of this guy.
He lived a secret double life as a firefighter-paramedic for the Chicago Fire Department.
I had a wife and I had 2 children. Nobody knew anything.
People are dying. Is he doing this every night?
Torn between 2 worlds.
I'm covering up murders that these cops are doing.
He was a freaking crazy man.
We don't know who he is, really.
He is my father, and I had no idea about any of this until now. Welcome to Crook County. Available now. Listen for free on the iHeartRadio app, Apple Podcasts, or wherever you get your podcasts.